September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys are now 1-1 after dropping their home opener to the New Orleans Saints 44-19. The Houston Texans improved to 2-0 as they beat the Chicago Bears 19-13 last night on Sunday Night Football. Your Texas Longhorns are now number 1 in the AP poll, vaulting over Georgia after the 56-7 win over UTSA. The Texas A&M Aggies are now 25th after they beat Florida 33-20 in their SEC opener. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Good morning, everybody! Yes, sir!
Oh.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Well, are we just like back to town or back to the show?
Back to
'Cause
reality.
not everybody left.
Back to reality. Well, I was welcoming you back. I was welcoming you back, Mr. Cotter.
That is a dated reference that most people would not get.
I know, and then you just updated it with the
Sounded
Shannon
like-
Sharp
that
sex
sounded
sound.
Mr. Cotter, move your toe.
I also saw it. It's not on my hotkeys, Vic.
Oh, hold on, I'll fix that.
Come on.
What are we looking for?
Oh, this one.
My Shannon sound.
Yeah,
Oh.
this one.
Oh.
We are back.
We
We're back in studio. Look at us. Just a couple dudes coming home from Vegas, missing teeth.
Let me tell you, spending the last 4 days with you in Vegas has been a blast, man. But we went to Vegas for you guys to make sure you were ready
For the people.
fights. For the
Yeah.
peoples. And I hope we represented well. As it was a good night of fights.
Good night of fights. We'll talk about those. We got a lot. Oh, we've got so much to talk about today. Are we up on StreamYard?
Oh,
Or on the
we're on the tubes. I'm looking at
tubes?
us now.
Why can't I see it? Why am I not showing us live? I want to. Usually it pops up. We're looking live, folks. I want to see what you guys have to say this week or this morning.
Yeah, Brigade Bar, get on there and say howdy.
Yeah, it's gonna. Listen, guys. It's gonna be a day. I can tell you that much. Rob and I think combined for about 4 hours of sleep.
And that would be being
Generous?
I think the generous part would be I did get a little bit of sleep in the car. With
Oh, you
my
got some
wife,
car
though,
sleep.
which I don't think that really counts.
My
Especially when you're terrified.
my flight home had I sat next to a couple who really nice people, except for one thing.
So you were talking with them?
No.
Oh.
No. I mean, they talked to me a little bit, but I had my cat.
That's right. That is a conversation piece. So
Yeah,
I
so they
forgot
wanted
that
to
you
talk
were,
about that.
You were carrying an animal.
But they were really nice people. But when I say really nice on an airplane, I mean they generally left me alone, which is what I'm hoping for. But they were constantly making out with each
Oh,
other.
stop. No. You know what I would do at that porn? I'd put on some porn.
Yeah.
I'd have to. I don't know if I need to have some in reserve, which you don't really want that. But if you're going to do that, then I'm going to put some on and put it in front of you. Just lay it there and just aim it at them. This is what if you want to do that, then you can look at this too.
Yeah. It was kind of gross.
Oh, it's awful. I know young love. I get it.
These weren't young though.
Oh,
These were like
were they newlyweds? And had they just?
they're not married. That's what it is.
Oh yeah. Well,
They're they may be married, but they're not married to each other. Like they don't do it. Like when you're married to each other, you don't do this, or
No.
not in public.
no.
I mean, it was like, oh, just gross
No.
and noisy.
Is there a way to legit? I act like that. I would like, hey, enough, kids. Is there a way to get that to stop?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
Maybe dry heave.
This was like on the it was an evening flight, like a 7:30. It was supposed to be a 7:30 flight. It ended up being about a 7:50 flight, which landed at about 12:30, 12:45 this morning. So it was dark, and which
no.
I don't mind that because now it's like I'm thinking, oh, I get to sleep. But
if there's like writhing,
right.
going
Well,
on
not
beside
only
you.
that, there was a fully dark plane except for my seat. Both of them had their lights on.
While they were making out?
Yes. And she was crocheting the whole time. Like
I'm having trouble picturing this couple.
making like a scarf or something.
While they were making out.
They
Was
would
she
take
intermittent-
breaks. They would,
intermittent knitting?
yeah. Yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot.
I don't know how I'd handle it. I really don't.
I was, listen, man, I'm not trying to be a block. It's not my job to do
No,
that, but
but-
it's like you are in public, you know what I mean? Like let's tone it down a little.
I'm not
Just a tad.
Yeah, I'm not a prude. I want you to. But then I got a
There's no
cat
place
here.
for that. Yeah, I got a
There's
there's a cat.
here. What think of the little cat?
How am I going to explain this to the cat?
This cat's never been out much. Now he's suddenly on a plane watching this.
Oh, that cat.
Have to go through cat therapy now.
Everybody was wanting to talk to it.
And see, that is a conversation starter.
But, oh,
and I know
man.
how much you enjoy people coming up to you. So
She was knocked out. Like, I mean, when they
Oh,
saw
had
her.
you got her heavily sedated?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. She was on the good stuff.
was it like a Norwegian blue?
Or when she would pick her head up out of the thing and she's like just bobbling. Whoa. And people are like, oh, wow, that's a cute cat.
What's wrong with it?
Is it all right?
I've never seen a cat drool like that.
Oh, yes. It's extremely high.
Got
Cat-
in my edibles.
Cat drugs are legal in Vegas, too, friends. It's not just people
The-
drugs.
And you know what? That's true.
Of course it is.
They have high octane cat drugs.
That's right. And look at that. We got it. And she was quiet the whole
Oh
trip.
yeah,
The whole
hungry when you
trip.
got home.
You'll never believe this, though. That orange cat that the lady had picked up, she brought him back. I don't know if I told you guys that on the air on Friday.
I don't know if we knew that yet. Did we know that it was coming back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about it on the
Yeah.
air, but this lady, God bless her. She's, she tried to do something good, but
I've never heard of this happening, by the way. As you tell this story, I've never heard of this.
when you get a new animal and you introduce that animal into your current animal situation, there's always going to be a transition
Yes.
period. They don't just like,
Oh,
they're not going to run up
hello.
and like start speaking cat to each other and hug. That's not how it works. They're territorial. They're like lions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, this is my house, bitch. What are you doing here? And he's like, F you, I live here
Hey,
now. So
I've been
she
here-
picked me up, she kidnapped me, brought me here.
That's what that poor cat went through when you left. Think about what from the cat's perspective. So you leave, and that cat's been alone for a minute, and then this woman shows up, puts him in a cage, takes it to another house with a cat that's already there that's being a real D for
Yeah.
And this poor cat's got no claws in some foreign environment, wondering, this dude left, and now I've been kidnapped, and then gets put back in the cage and brought back right before you come home.
Yeah. So
Sure,
of
he
course
looked at you like, I
oh,
got a story
he's
for
like,
you.
you're not gonna believe what happened to me, dude.
Did you pay some kind of ransom? Because I was kidnapped and then she brought me back. Thanks, bro.
And of course, he immediately is like,
And by the way, what the hell?
yeah, he's like super excited to
And
see me.
who's this?
He wants to come in my house, and I'm like, no, not tonight, Orange Cat. I've got enough issue. I've already got this cat, and she's likely to whoop your ass. She's been taking drugs. I don't know what's gonna happen.
What's going on here, man?
So I don't know. I'm gonna have to cross that bridge when it gets there. But he was certainly waiting, laying on my welcome mat. Just, oh, I knew you were coming back, dude.
Thank God.
You're never gonna believe this lady came, scooped me up, fed me lunch, almost got my ass. I almost whooped his ass. I ain't gonna lie.
Without claws.
Yeah. I was gonna use my back claws on him. It would have been awesome. No, but it's so now I've got to go. I've still got to find a home for this other cat who has no claws and like can't live outside because it doesn't have claws, but somehow has been left outside. So I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna back to square one, obviously, because this first lady fell through.
Yeah.
But also, I made the mistake of putting it on next door, and now it's like constant. Do you have an update? And like the whole time I was in Vegas, it's like, where's this cat at now? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not in the state. I have no idea.
Who keeps up? Seriously, you're getting on a Nextdoor app.
Oh yeah, they're intense.
Looking for updates on this cat.
Yeah, I got some. I got a message from a lady, and it was like, "Do not give away cats for free. People are selling their cats, and they're being eaten
By the Haitians?
That's what I thought it was going to say, but it was like they're feeding kittens and puppies to pythons, to their snakes. And I'm like, well,
Yikes.
I'd rather Haitians eat them than a snake, to be honest.
At least
Yeah.
there's some benefit to mankind.
Yeah,
with that.
like I'd love to see what kind of a sauce a Haitian could come
I
up
bet
with.
I
That
bet there's-
snake,
You ever had jerk cat?
that snake is just going to get big and scary. F that. So yeah, that's what I get to deal with when I get home.
You have some clicks. You know, cats have. It's going to be an interesting. I'll say this. What if they get along?
Dude,
Would you ever have two? What if the other cat is like, I have needed a buddy for a long time.
she had a buddy, and it didn't work out. She doesn't like sharing her food. Is the problem? And if you say, okay, well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put out 2 cans of food. She'll eat hers, and then she'll eat his.
And then whoop his ass.
Yeah, and she'll be like, what are you going to do about it? And my cat probably has, I don't know, 8 pounds, 9 pounds on this other cat. Like,
oh, well. You've done your good deed.
I'm
You're
doing
right
my
with
best, man.
Karma is on your side right
Cat
now.
karma should be on my side. I'm trying my best. I'm trying to make sure this cat isn't eaten by some illegal immigrant like I was told would happen. But, you know, I can only do so much. We've got a lot of sports to talk about.
Lots.
And what we're going to talk about next is uncomfortable. But Rob left Vegas early to go watch
An ass whooping. And to get some clean drawers.
You did have to do that.
I had a lot of reasons to run from Vegas.
But I don't know how clean the draws are on Coach Mike McCarthy, Coach Mike Zimmer, because they all crapped their pants yesterday. We'll talk about that next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. DayQuil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
DayQuil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, DayQuil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new DayQuil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter, locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
With T-Mobile, you can get tons of benefits and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. Because nobody likes having to choose. It's like getting romance and sci-fi.
Jane, I love you. Also, I'm a robot.
Or being a dog person and a cat person.
Who wants a treat? Who's a good boy?
Or like being an extrovert and an introvert.
Woo! This is so fun! I can't wait to go home.
At T-Mobile, you don't have to choose. You can get the benefits you want and still save on every plan versus AT&T and Verizon. See how much you can save with our savings calculator at T-Mobile.com/switch. Plus, when you switch, you can keep your phone, and we'll pay it off up to $800.
Via virtual prepaid card in 15 days. Qualifying unlocked device, credit, service, and timely redemption required. Card has no cash access and expires in 6 months. See T-Mobile.com.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you get into your early morning commute, we are working an accident on the northeast side. 35 northbound, we've got to wreck the off-ramp to get onto westbound Loop 410. Looks like the right lane of that ramp is blocked. On 1604 westbound, that is road work, a closure between I-10 Vance Jackson on over to Babcock. I-10 upper level westbound Poplar to Fulton, that's some ongoing road work. Got the roadway reduced to just one lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime! Well, the buzz around the Dallas Cowboys lasted a week. Suddenly it feels like there's been some air let out of that balloon. This was one of the games that I'm guessing if you were like mapping out the early season wins and losses, like last week felt like a game that, man, it really could have gone either way, like on paper. And Cowboys got that win, and you have to go, well, they won that game that was like a coin flip. They're in pretty good shape. In fact, they were underdogs in the game. So the fact they went on the road and won a game against a team that's considered like their peer, it's like, oh, man, this was solid. Now they get to go home and play a team that's not considered to be on their level.
We changed that opinion.
And no, actually, I'm more convinced now that the Saints and Cowboys are not on the same level.
No, we changed the opinion there.
No,
the Saints are actually, in the long run, dude, they're a good, much better team than anybody thought.
Oh, they're better than I thought, for sure.
That's not an excuse. You know what I mean? There was a lot of other things that need to be excused from the Cowboys, but at the end of the day, they're going to look back and go, well, yeah, we took them too light. But that's just the tip of what is a tragic iceberg.
I don't know how it could have gone worse.
No, it couldn't have.
I mean,
the first 6 possessions were touchdowns. 6 consecutive drives or scores.
And then, which, by the way, I don't know if you knew this, last week, every drive that the Saints went on ended in points. They never punted. They didn't turn it over last week. So, like, Derek Carr started the season with, like, 14 or 15 consecutive scoring drives.
Oh.
Which is wild to think about.
They've scored 91 points in the first 2 games. That's 4th in NFL history, behind the Raiders in 95, the 09 Saints, who also did it in 93, and the 1920 Rock Island Independence.
Oh, yeah, that was my favorite.
That was one of the great teams, but they are putting points up in buckets. This Kubiak kid got some offense in his pocket.
So think about that. All those touchdowns, 6 touchdowns in a row, and then finally Cowboys get an interception. And it's like, oh, yeah, suck on that. Here we go. What are we going to do with this? I don't know. Throw an interception the very first play, they get it back? I mean, how could this have gone worse, Rob? Is there what?
No, there's no. Because not only
there could have been a major injury, I guess.
Maybe. But what happened yesterday, I mean, it's not the end of the world. It's week 2.
Sure.
But what happened was it exposed exactly what we had been talking about for the last 8 months. We know you got to sign Dak. We know you've got some other stuff, but the real needs here, as far as the longevity and immediate winning here, is defensive line and running back. And you didn't do anything. You did nothing to fix it. And yesterday, it was totally exposed. The 2 things you needed, you didn't have.
Yeah. And, I mean, that speaks to – a lot of that, to me, speaks to toughness. Like, defensive line, running game is that's toughness game. And the Cowboys just got bullied.
So there's that. And then we talked earlier, and being at the game, you always get a little bit different perspective. You miss a lot. You don't hear a lot of the stats. But one of the things you do get there is you get an idea of a player's state, how the arm release, his movement, what goes on when the camera follows a play, things like that. I was curious about Dak's arm. I was like, what? Is his arm hurt or what's going on? And I ask you, how many of his early passes went more than 10 yards? Well, I found a stat here. Dak Prescott has gone 4 of 18, 22% in any throw of 15-plus yards in the air.
Jeez.
I'm starting to wonder, is there something wrong with Dak's shoulder? I mean, now we're 2 games into this. First of all, you've only thrown 18 downfield past 15 yards. That's a questionable thing anyway. Only 18 throws in 2 games? 4 of 18. It's either scheme or arm.
Or it's not, I mean, I you know what, I can't say that. I was going to say Dak never plays in the preseason. I was going to say maybe it's not getting that preseason
Maybe
work,
there is something to that. I'm not going to discount that, but he's always been good downfield. 54% in his attempts last year, 5th best in the NFL. Right now, it's not there.
And last week it didn't matter because you could make a justification what you shouldn't have been throwing the ball down the field. You didn't need to.
Yeah, we didn't need it.
But in this game where you really needed to, you asked me like how many do you remember in the game, and I was like, the only one I could remember in the first half was one that he threw downfield and it actually was complete and it got called back for holding. Guyton was holding on the play and they brought it back. Yeah. I don't remember another deep shot in the early game.
Just something to pay attention to over the next couple of days. Because that, again, That's a minor part of what went wrong yesterday. Just one of the many, many things. I used to have a coach. I used to kind of believe it, that sometimes it's better to just get your ass kicked. Sometimes it's better to walk into some place and just get dismantled, get, beaten the brakes off, to go back in and go home and be embarrassed about what happened to you so you can truly face your problems. And maybe that's the case, but I don't believe that anymore. Getting your ass kicked ain't good for anybody at any time. It wasn't at the second half for the Saints. That was like a practice. I guess that helped them for future effort because they didn't have any need to win the game. The Cowboys were already dead in the water. I mean, the game was over at halftime. It was done. So at that point, the Saints were like, just nobody get hurt, and let's pile on some stats, and let's put up some biblical numbers. And they did do that. Meanwhile, the Cowboys just kind of stumbling around out of the game in the second half with really no even attempt to rectify anything, but let's just start winging it on every play because obviously we can't run it.
Yeah, and then the fact that they just kept having to settle for field goals in a game that you knew field goals weren't going to be enough. They settled for a field goal at the end of the half, which I get it. It's the end of the half. You want to get some kind of positive momentum going, but at that point, you were down 35-13. Like, is that field goal going to save you? And then you start the second half, and they got to the 10-yard line, and they ended up having to kick. Was damn near a 50-yard field goal. Like it was just a symphony of disasters. They are way too comfortable settling for field goals. It's just they cannot. You're not going to win many football games like that, and I mean, especially when your defense was as crappy as they were yesterday. It's wild because maybe I got suckered, but I was like, if this defense plays anything like they played against Cleveland, I was like, the offense is gonna naturally come around, and this could be a really great team. And then watching the defense yesterday, I think they were worse than the offense. They stunk.
How much in your eyes was it scheme and prep, and then how much of it was they just got bullied?
I think it's 50-50. I do think this was a really bad look for Mike Zimmer. Mm-hmm. Really bad look for Mike Zimmer. But there's no way to avoid talking about the fact that they just got pushed around. Like, they got shoved wherever they wanted to get shoved. And Alvin Kamara was having like walk-in touchdowns where he's not getting touched. That can't happen. That was a guy who I thought maybe was washed coming into the season. And no, not he's at least if he is washed, the Cowboys aren't good enough to make him look washed.
I don't think one of the things that Zimmer got beat at was prep. Saints utilized play action at the lowest rate in the NFL last season. Yesterday, 51% of play action, and Carr completed 205 yards off play action. That's the highest of his career with a touchdown. That's scheme. That is scheme and prep. And Kubiak out-coached his mentor last night.
Yeah. And if I were, I know Jerry was pissed off yesterday. I'd be pissed off too because you just paid $60 million for a dude who was the second best quarterback in the game yesterday. That sucks.
At a place where if Dak would have stayed a free agent, would have probably paid exactly more than you did.
They were the Saints came into this season looking to get out of the Derek Carr business, and he made Dak look like a bum. All right, we'll continue this conversation on the other side. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, man, what a weekend of football we've got to talk about. We'll react to the Cowboys. We'll react to the Texans. We'll react to the Longhorns.
The Longhorns with the UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor. The Aggies, all the football talk. Monday on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Don't you agree that it's a wonderful thing to save a dog's life? I certainly do, and I invite you to go to puppyfoodbank.org and make a $15 a month donation right now. Do it now, and Thomas J. Henry will generously match all charitable donations made this month online at puppyfoodbank.org. It's your chance to help save thousands of pets in our community, so please give a little. to help save little guys like you. So please go to puppyfoodbank.org right now, and they'll send you a very nice gift.
Smoky Mo's Texas Barbecue is the best neighborhood barbecue in San Antonio. Stop in for a signature chopped Baker potato. Pick up brisket, turkey, and mac and cheese for family dinner. Order freshly made breakfast tacos. Whatever you choose. Smoky Mo's Barbecue serves great tasting Texas barbecue fast and friendly. Tailgating? Order Smoky Mo's Barbecue for your perfect tailgate or game watching party. They'd love to see you at any area Smoky Mo's. Order for pickup or delivery at SmokyMo'sBBQ.com. Smoky Mo's. The pit is lit.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked, classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
How about them Cowboys? Jim Beam, bringing fans together across Cowboys country. We rise as one in Texas in handed-down silver and blue jerseys. We come together for America's team every time they take the field. So let's share a round of Jim Beam highballs on game day in Cowboys country. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit GetGeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. As you get into your early morning commute, we are working an accident on the northeast side. 35 northbound, we've got to wreck the off-ramp to get onto westbound Loop 410. Looks like the right lane of that ramp is blocked. On 1604 westbound, that is road work, a closure between I-10 Vance Jackson on over to Babcock. I-10 upper level westbound Poplar to Fulton, that's some ongoing road work. Got the roadway reduced to just one lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
Hi, this is Joe Reinagel, and you're listening to the home of the Dallas Cowboys, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I think, going back to my comments during the week, I felt like we were playing a playoff caliber team. I think you look at the preparation coming into it, look at their games last year, which obviously you do in week 2. And they played well last week. Disappointed, very disappointed the way we played, from top down, starting myself here. The finish, particularly, as far as the different battles as you go through the game, the run game battle, we didn't win that on either side. Obviously the turnover battle, they won that. So I thought they did a better job finishing plays, and they hit their big plays. I think we were -3 at halftime. I don't know what it ended up, but we needed to keep pace. Complimentary football. Defense was struggling obviously, throughout the first 3 quarters. And we need to score touchdowns in the red zone. And we had some execution challenges that. They were better than we were. So if we could have kept pace with them and, kept that to a 1-score, possible 2-score game, then, you come down a stretch and you're competing to win.
Yeah, it's Mike McCarthy on the disappointment of that loss. Yeah, keeping it with a 1 or 2-score game. Yeah, that was over after about 5 minutes. Like, you remember when it was a 2-score game? It seems like it was 1994. That was a 2-score game. Out the window in a hurry. The one thing he said, man, you got to score touchdowns in the red zone. Yep. They had too many chances where it was like they worked their asses off. You've got these long 5-minute drives, and then you kick a field goal. What game was I watching? They were doing a similar thing. I was watching a game where they were like, the announcers were trying to convince
Well, it must have been the Commanders with, 9 field goals or something? I mean...
No, it wasn't about field goals. It was more about like the announcers were trying to convince you that it was more of a game than it was.
Do you think that having a weapon like Aubrey negatively affects the way you call plays? Because I would have thought that the Cowboys would have been more daring.
You'd be ballsy. That's what the Ravens do.
Yeah, we got 60 yards and we got 3 points guaranteed. Let's go for something. And in the end of the first half, it felt like, got a field goal. We got a field goal. It's a score and drive. It goes down as a positive. You never go broke making a profit. Well, I don't know if it's part of the comfort level they have with him, but I'd like to see a little bit more. But that falls back into don't fall so far behind, and then you can use your field goal as a weapon. But over the last 2 games, it seems awfully easy. Let's line up Brandon. Let's get us a 3. We'll kick it off and do that weird kickoff again.
I know what it was. It was the Alabama-Wisconsin game.
Dude,
Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt were like,
Gus.
They were trying to say nice things about Wisconsin. Like they scored a touchdown to cut it to like 30. And they're like, and they're not out of it yet. Wisconsin still fighting. I'm like, are we watching the same game, Gus? Wisconsin's been dead for an hour. That's what it felt like, though, with Mike McCarthy. Oh, yeah, we could have made it a 2-score game. No, man, that was a long time ago you had a chance to do that. That was long gone. No, I don't know that there's a positive you can take away from this. And hearing him talk and say, we got bullied, they felt unprepared. That's about right. They were unprepared. They looked like they didn't think the Saints were good. And you know what? I didn't really think the Saints were good, but it's not my job to go beat the Saints either. And if you're not taking everybody seriously, this is what happens.
they asked Dak about taking him seriously. I don't know. Is that something? I felt like they didn't, but that's of all the inexcusable things in the world.
I've got I don't have the Dak clip yet. I do have McCarthy talking about if they took the Saints for granted.
But did it feel like that on TV? Because it certainly looked like a flat football team running out. So it did feel like that.
Oh, it translated very well.
Because they just looked like we're at home. We're going to roll out. Everybody party. The place is celebrated. And you can just tell team didn't feel right.
And once they got punched in the mouth, they were just like, well, I didn't like that. And they never did a damn thing about it. Here's what Coach had to say about them if they took the Saints for granted.
I don't know, shocked. You compete in the NFL. We've been very good at home. The numbers speak for themselves. You don't ever want to lose a game, let alone lose like that. But it can happen to anybody in this league, and frankly, you'd rather happen early. So, yeah, I'm dishonest when you guys ask me what I think of the other team. Maybe I should just most other people do, throw candy out there. But I thought they were a good team coming in there, and I thought they played well. If you watch the last 8 games of their season, and what they played last week, so I mean this was a challenge, and we got to worry about ourselves. We can't worry about what other people think or say, or what comes out of this. We need to just stay true to the football part of it, stay present, and work on this. So we got a lot of work to do. I told you that I stood here 7 days ago and talked about all the work, all the work that we needed to do, and we won by 3 scores. So this is part of this September football, challenge. And hey, in 7 days we got another playoff team coming in here. So we'll take the time tomorrow to learn from it, and we'll get ready for Baltimore.
So it sounds like McCarthy didn't take them for granted. But
well, you better say that.
Yeah.
But they did. They did.
I think they have to.
And you know what makes it even worse? There's, you got your division teams that hate you. But there's, of the teams that truly hate Cowboy fan and Cowboys, Saints are, if they're not first, they're second on the list. And then the Texans. The Saints took over that stadium. And I know that Jerry World's a destination stadium, and lots of other fans always arrive in Dallas. But let me tell you, the surrounding part around the game, over even at Bill Bates' Yingling tailgate, which was a blast, by the way, there were a lot of Saint fans. There's a lot of Hoodats walking around, and it was a Saint party in that building yesterday. I mean, from the get-go, way too many Saint fans having way too much fun. And of all the things that would gall me as owner, as Jerry, it was that. Now, yeah, granted, he's taking their money, but they're dancing on your dance floor. They're in your house making fun of you.
I think I'm a lot more worried about the hundreds of $1 million I just passed out, and that's what my offense looked like.
Right. Well, there's 1,000 things to be worried about. And
that's way worse than having some Saints fans in the building.
But let me tell you, they were having fun.
I need y'all Saints fans to buy more beer because I got a lot to pay off here.
Yeah, seriously, man.
We have made a mistake.
As we head out, at what point do we start getting worried about McCarthy even making it through the year? I know this is early, but you get beat like that, you got Baltimore coming in. It ain't getting any easier. And at what point do you start thinking, Wade Phillips got fired midseason? And we're hearing yesterday, already hearing players go, it's not coach, it's us. We got to focus on ourselves. We got to do our job. That's what players start to say when they're worried about their coach.
I'll say this. Now, remember, McCarthy's not only the head coach, he's the OC, technically. He's the play caller. But what are you going to do? Fire him and hire the guy? Who you going to promote? Zimmer, the guy who just got his ass kicked yesterday?
I didn't make this roster, and I doubt that wouldn't be the case, though. It would be Zimmer. It would be.
Yeah, I don't know if you want to give him the job right now either. I don't. I think you're kind of stuck riding out the McCarthy thing just because he's got skins on, and they're 1-1. You know what I mean? It's not the end of the world. Next week's so important now. But it's important to both those teams. The Ravens are in desperation mode too. It makes for an interesting game for sure.
One of the things we talked about before the season began was the 2 nightmares for Texas teams would be that we have a stumble out of the block for the Cowboys and McCarthy's job starts to be in question. And at the University of Texas, even though they're number one now, you got a quarterback controversy coming. It's coming. I'm just going to tell you guys now that there is a storm coming. You just hope that you're winning through the storm, but it's coming.
We'll hear more from Mike McCarthy. We'll hear more from Dak in the 7 o'clock hour. Coming up next, we'll talk about the Houston Texans. They moved to 2-0 with a win last night. I'll talk about that game. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com.
Can you dig it? Come into any Ewald Kubota dealer and dig the savings on the full line of Kubota excavators. Like 0%, 0 down for 48 months. Plus, save up to $10,000 off. Come see us. Kubota deals are here. Kubota deals are now.
Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
Football fans, picture this. You bet on your favorite player to score the first touchdown, and he throws a block, and his teammate scores instead. With BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second. Bet on any pro football player to score the first touchdown of the game. If you're right, you win. If your player scores second, you get your stake back in cash. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements, in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Am I crazy, or has real estate gotten out of control lately? Between guaranteed cash offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's so confusing. What's not confusing is paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it takes less time and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors and flippers have been using Listing Spark for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't leave money on the table with a guaranteed cash offer program. In other words, if you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000, and you don't pay $24,000 in agent commissions. Doesn't that sound better? And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do, so great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature-Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature-Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Connecticut quality water softeners. They are studs of water softeners, that's for sure. Got one in my house, and I tell you what, it is really a game changer. There's no question about it. I didn't think there would be a difference, but there is. Connecticut is absolutely the best. Look, Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America. And you know as well as I do, you live in San Antonio and South Texas, boy, a water softener is a must because the water is hard. It can do a lot of damage. And why not have the best? Give them a call at 656-PURE, 656-7873, because when you do that, they're going to put a Connecticut quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. You heard me right. 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. If you don't like it after 90 days, they'll come take it out. You don't owe them a dime. Call Connecticut. You won't regret it. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
And yes, Ren, I know he's technically not the OC, but when you're the play caller,
he is the offense.
He's the offense.
Whatever Shoddy does, it is basically McCarthy's principles that Shoddy is applying to the game plan that then McCarthy calls the plays. It is his offense, even though by title.
Like there is a guy
OC
with the job title, sure.
But let's not take it. It's McCarthy's plan.
Yeah. All right. It's not all doom and gloom in the state of Texas. We'll talk some college football here coming up in a little bit, but the Houston Texans got themselves a nice win in week 2 over a
game, Bear team.
Yeah,
game. I guess that's
feisty,
a pretty
maybe?
Yeah, scrappy.
I'm so unconvinced and so unimpressed by Caleb Williams.
Really? See, I'm not. I think he's okay.
What have you seen?
Well, he's playing against a really good defense last night, first of all.
Okay.
The Texans fly to the ball, it's a fun defense to watch. But, dude, he's in his second game. There were at least 2 plays that I can point out that you go, there's not a lot of guys in the world can do that. So, he's on a team that I think got a little bit too much hype coming into it. They're better than they were. I thought this was going to be a Texans coronation. I thought the Texans were going to roll out last night and beat them by 3-4 touchdowns. And they played pretty good. I thought the Texans offensively looked good against a very good Chicago Bears defense. I'm not down on him yet. Now, he might turn out as the year progresses that he's the same guy every week, and we've gotten the same guy the first 2 weeks. But after that, I'm not down on him yet. I think it's more about the Texans playing a very good home game against an average team.
Yeah, I thought the defense really held up for them because the offense was not what it was in week 1.
Mm-hmm.
CJ was fine. He wasn't great.
What if they'd played that game in Chicago? What do you think would have been the difference? You think there would have been any difference?
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, I don't think so. I like to think the Texans were better than that or maybe the Bears' defense is better than that. But all in all, those are the kind of games that when your offense isn't playing well, your defense comes to rescue you. Tank is a baller. They can run the ball with anybody. That close win, I think, proved to me more than if it would have been a blowout because I felt like it was going to be a coronation, and they got a little bit more fight than they expected, and they fought through it and beat them physically as well.
Well, they got lucky in a way because the Texans did exactly what the Cowboys did yesterday and settled for a bunch of field goals, and usually that's going to cost you. You kick 4 field goals in a game, and you only score 19 points. Usually you're losing those games, but you're right. The Texans' defense played incredible.
They're going to have to fix the penalties, though. Lots of penalties last night. That was what kept the Bears in the game. 12 accepted penalties, and there was several declined. So of anything to take away from a young team is they got away with a win because they were physically more gifted, but they tried to give the game away mentally. There were just a lot of dumb things that they're going to have to fix because a good team will beat them with that.
Well, and after watching the Colts play another game, I'm a little less impressed with what the Texans did in week 1 because Colts may just be a disaster. Malik. All right, let's talk some college football on the other side. There's a new number 1 in town.
Nice.
We'll talk about that. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's football season, and you know the best place to watch games is at the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road, with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. College, pro, the games are on at the Roo. And when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch the game. Just down from the big blind, the Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
Purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new Dayquil Kids Plus Fever. The daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Don't let pain hold you back from living your best life. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett with Arasti. At Arasti, we're dedicated to providing fast, effective relief from pain. Whether you've been dealing with a chronic discomfort for years or have recently suffered an injury, our goal is to help you recover quickly. Our treatment is all natural, non-invasive, and covered by most insurance plans. With convenient locations nearby, relief is just a call away. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
DQ presents the sound of BOGO-free Blizzard treats in the DQ app.
It's the sound of downloading the DQ app, redeeming the sweetest BOGO free Blizzard deal, telling all your friends, and heading to DQ. For BOGO free any size Blizzard treats only in the DQ app for a limited time. Download it today. At participating locations, limitations apply. DQ. Happy tastes good.
For more than half a century, contractors and trade professionals have relied on WeatherGuard for heavy-duty truck and van storage equipment, not just to protect their valuable tools, but to protect their professional reputations. For pros, the WeatherGuard badge makes a statement about what drives them. It says, "Bring it on. Been there. Done that. We've got your back," without saying a word. And the folks at WeatherGuard, they're just as driven as the hardworking pros they serve. See what it means to be driven at weatherguard.com.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We still have those two trouble spots along 35 on the northeast side. Accidents at 35 northbound, off-ramp to 410 has the right lane of the ramp blocked. And then 35 southbound approaching Evans at Rick, causing about a 15-minute delay from FM 1103. It's a stall at I-10 westbound at Crossroads Boulevard. It is taking up a left lane. Looks like they did pick up that road work 1604 westbound I-10 Vance Jackson on over to Babcock. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys are now 1-1 after dropping their home opener to the New Orleans Saints 44-19. The Houston Texans improved to 2-0 as they beat the Chicago Bears 19-13 last night on Sunday Night Football. Your Texas Longhorns are now number 1 in the AP poll, vaulting over Georgia after the 56-7 win over UTSA. The Texas A&M Aggies are now 25th after they beat Florida 33-20 in their SEC opener. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We were talking during the break about who's kind of been the surprise guys who have impressed. And you'll never believe some of the MVP odds. Your favorite to win the MVP is Patrick Mahomes, plus 350. Well, no shocker. Even if he doesn't win it, they'll make sure he wins it anyway, because that's what the NFL does these days. Josh Allen, 4-1.
Who's my favorite?
C.J. Stroud, plus 550. Then there's a pretty good jump. Jalen Hurts, 10-1. We'll see him tonight. You can hear him tonight on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, taking on the Falcons. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, both 20-1, tied for 5th. Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy, both 22-1. Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff, and Kyler Murray, 25-1. Baker Mayfield is in the top 10 of the MVP odds.
He needs to be there.
Wow.
He needs to be there. He deserves it.
I think so.
He is dropping dimes on a football team that is better or at least as good as they should be.
And put some respect on my guy Wreck-It Ralph, 60-1, Sam Darnold. I mean, just saying, undefeated.
Well, what are the prereqs for being comeback player of the year? Do you have to? Is it
no?
From
You can
injury?
just be crappy. You can be hurt.
So,
whatever.
Who is your leader there? Is it Darnold? Is he the comeback dude?
I mean, through 2 games.
Because
yeah,
I mean, he did get a nice contract last year. Had a hell of a year last year.
I'd say Kyler Murray's in that discussion too. Remember, Kyler was hurt all last year.
After yesterday, I think he's probably legit.
But Derek Carr's in that conversation too.
Absolutely, he is. That. You know, the thing about Carr, nobody ever questioned his accuracy. I mean, that was never.
No.
I mean, so if he's protected, it is certainly with the play action that they brought in, now that he's a little bit safer and has some more time in the pocket, brilliance, man.
No one's ever questioned his eyeliner either.
He's a handsome man.
He's got it going on. In the world of college football, there's a new boss in town, a new sheriff in town, Rob, the number one in the country, Longhorns of Texas. Man, UTSA is it. You know, it's hard to take a whole lot away from this for them but back-to-back weeks, this is tough for Jeff Traylor. I know he's going to be salty as hell when we talk to him on Friday. He needs conference play to get here quick. But
we got Traylor today.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't know what I'm thinking.
He'll be here in 2 hours.
Yeah, he's going to be salty when we talk to him.
I think he will be, but let me tell you, I think that Texas benefited by the national reputation that Traylor has built over the last 2 years. Because if this was Bo Diddley Tech that they had beaten like that, I think Georgia would still be number one. I think they would just say, you know, this was SEC, Kentucky, and Heupel have always kind of had it pretty good with Georgia, and they brought it. And Georgia showed enough to hold on and win a game where, quite frankly, they shouldn't have. But the narrative wasn't that. It was Texas boat raced a good UTSA team and coach, and I do believe that. I mean, that
they boat raced them with a backup quarterback.
There are some backups, and then there's this. So I mean, it's a 1-1. It was. I agree.
Rob, Quinn Ewers was the Heisman Trophy favorite coming into the week,
but he's driving a Ferrari. Hurt. But yeah, he's driving a Ferrari though. I mean, it's easy to jump in, and the other driver can do 192. You know what I mean? It's not that hard to go in there. But you're right. It is a backup quarterback. But I do believe that those that voted, those that know that Coach Traylor is a good coach that was going to be capable of doing something to slow down Texas, and he couldn't. Whatever the case was, there was no slowdown. They were a speed bump on a team that was playing with, like you said, their backup quarterback now is 1A. I didn't see a difference.
It didn't seem like much of a difference.
So, I'm telling you guys, this is a wonderful thing for Texas. This is what the reason they hired Sark. Everything is falling into place. They get Arch. He shows up. He performs. There seems to be no real resentment between the two, but be careful, friends. Be careful. I've seen this. I've seen this many, many times.
There's a lot of Major Applewhite, Chris Sims feel to it, where the celebrity quarterback shows up. There's a lot of pressure to get him out there.
And this is you say that. I go back to like Phil Sims years. I mean, this has happened so many times at Texas.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Applewhite and Chris Sims.
And there was another one in there. There's been more quarterback controversy at Texas than a lot of universities, and that's part of because of the alumni and the support. I mean, some schools are just more prone to drama.
Well, and also listen, when you've got multiple 5-star quarterbacks, It's like there's always going to be a camp that says, "Yeah, I want this." And I remember the big deal with Sims and Applewhite was like a proven winner, but Sims, when Chris Sims came, Roy Williams. Right. Sloan Thomas and B.J. Johnson all came to Texas to play with Chris Sims.
Right.
They were. It was 3 of the top 10 wide receivers in the country came to play with Chris Sims, and so there was pressure to say, well, but listen, we're getting guys here.
Was better.
It's like, well, yeah, but right now this guy's winning. They're like, we don't care. We came here to play with Chris. It does put coaches in an awkward situation.
It's coming, guys. I'm not saying that Texas can't weather the storm because either option is really, really good. But I get the sense because Arch is going to play next week, he's going to get the start, and he's going to look really good doing it. I mean, he just is.
Chances are good.
That team is firing on every possible cylinder. The running game is good, pass game. The defense is what separates them now, though. What Texas has lacked, finally they got a defense that'll put a helmet on you and make you respect them. They're not a finesse defense anymore.
139-19 through 3 games.
I mean, respect. I mean,
and that includes a road game at the defending national champions.
Well, it looked good on paper anyway. It looked good on paper.
And you know what's crazy is UTSA, the 7 that they got was like on a busted play, 56-yard run. It was like the only big play they had the whole freaking game. I mean, this game could have easily been 56-0.
Because that again, I think goes to I know it's hard to talk about how badly they were pantsed and then say there's deep respect for the coach, but I do believe that those that were voting across the country said, yeah, if they'd have beaten Ooh La La or, name your directional state school, yeah, it looks good. You're still number 2, though. But because Traylor's so good and has the reputation of the next and next good comer, that they got the credit that they deserve. And it's going to be a minute. They're going to hold on to it for a week or two, I think. But the schedule's coming.
No doubt. And it's going to be, listen, the SEC it's a different beast. There's not many gimmies in the SEC. And after the Mississippi State game in 2 weeks, they have a bye. And then they get that Oklahoma and Georgia back-to-back, and we'll find out if they really are the best team in the country.
But right now, they are. No ifs, ands, or buts.
If they're not the best
team in football.
If they're not the best, they've certainly looked the best so far.
And I think, that's the best we can quantify it because we won't know till the tournament. But now Texas revel in it. Although you're not alone in the 25, we have a reemergence there in College Station. They're back.
Yes. We'll talk them. Don't you worry.
I told Vic earlier, just equal
time,
just like it's a political campaign.
Yeah. Except like now you're asking for equal time for the Green Party.
Well, it's still democracy.
You guys are only on the ballot in like 40 states.
Simmer down, 25, top 25. Time's coming.
Yeah, you're right.
Coming.
You're right.
A lot of people sold us out this weekend.
We'll give Aggie their shine. Don't you worry.
Battered Aggie syndrome.
That's right.
I did leave it in Sports Center.
Yeah. Notice how fast I had to talk to get that thing in there.
Rob couldn't do a full segment talking about Texas without like. Well, you know what happened this weekend? Yeah, speaking of that poll.
I gave the love. They're the best team. You know how hard it is for me to say that?
There's two ends at the top 25. There's number 1, but there's got to be a 25.
Bookend, baby.
You know who it is, right?
That's right. You only got one more loss than
Rob.
Hey,
you know what? We'll talk about the Aggies on the other side.
Yes.
There is plenty to talk about on them as well. They did already lose to Notre Dame. I mean, gross.
But what they did this weekend? See, that's what we need the Domers to do. Go hang 70 on teams. Come on now.
And I got a feeling that Aggie may have been one of the last losses that old Billy Napier has down in the swamp because
he's going home.
Boy, the Gator fans they're a little tired of this act.
Florida is terrible.
I don't know how
they're like bad. They're stupid. If they're everything that goes into a bad football team, inopportune play calls, dumb penalties, soft in the middle, a coach that thinks their team is better than they are, calling dumb deep downfield plays. They're awful, man.
You're not supposed to be that bad at Florida. We'll talk about A&M's big win next. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The Gomez Law Firm is proud to be San Antonio's trusted personal injury law firm for the past 50 years. We have Jose with the Gomez Law Firm here with us. Your firm has been fighting for the people of San Antonio since 1973. That's incredible.
There are not a lot of businesses that stick around for even 50 years, let alone personal injury law firms.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then turn to the law firm that will fight for you. Visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law Fights.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit diamondsdirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's winds blowing across a fruited plain, and also your new fire pit, which subsequently sets your gazebo ablaze. It's hard-hitting football, and an even harder-hitting price estimate from your general contractor. That's a star-spangled bummer. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group's size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
When I wake up, the best mornings in the morning light start with Wrangler. Pull on my jeans and I feel all right. Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on. Good mornings make for better days. I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Aggies move to 2-1. Aggies 2-1 now with a 33-20 win in the Swamp. I always say it's a tough place to play, man. Kind of underrated home field at this point because Florida's been crappy for a while, but to go down there and whoop their ass is a good thing. And
in a driving rainstorm with your backup quarterback.
Yeah, and Billy Napier is he's on watch. He's on notice, I think, because Florida stinks. And Florida is one of about, 5 jobs in the country, in my opinion, where it's inexcusable to lose at these jobs. It's Florida, LSU, Texas, USC, Ohio State. If you lose at one of those 5 jobs, you're just not a good coach. Like, that's all it can be. Because you are so set up to succeed. You are the big dog in a state that produces a ton of talent. Georgia probably belongs on that list by now, too.
Oh, without question. But we've only had one coach in that situation, so it's hard to.
Yeah. But Alabama, you're going to go, there's ups and downs. Alabama does not have the money flowing into it that these other schools do. They do not have, I mean, they've had a great coach for a long time. That goes a long way. Alabama doesn't have, a top 5 recruiting state of kids in state that they can just take their pick up.
But I will say this, and Texas in there, and Ohio State, with Day and some other guys that have come through, there is something about the coach that has to mesh with the culture.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
Doesn't mean that, and I think that while I think Kelly is a hell of a coach. Brian Kelly's a good coach. He doesn't fit in LSU. There's just a disconnect.
It talks like this. Look at me. I talk like this.
Y'all.
Yeah.
And I think Napier felt like he was going to be the perfect coach for Florida. He felt like young Spurrier. He was going to show up and razzle dazzle. And he recruited appropriately. But when you see that disconnect between talent and success, that falls squarely on process, and that falls squarely on coach. And I'll lay money that he's got 3 or 4 assistants that don't like him for whatever case, because there's a problem there. And when you watch a team that is just going through it, having gone through it yourself, having gone through it in the last 2 years, watching the little things that fall into defeats like that, just the little plays, the pre-snap penalties, the guys that don't make it on field on time, the too many men or not enough guys on the field, the decisions between running 2 quarterbacks back and forth when really you need to pick one, man. You're just going to have to decide whatever you're going to do and hang your hat on it. All those little things that you see that just pile up into bad football, that's Florida. I'll tell you what, though, as you said it, one coach and a quick turnaround, because the cupboard is stocked, man. There's a lot of talent on that football team. There's no doubt. And I think that's what's absolutely dreadful about where Florida stands. There was a turning point that I do want to point at that I do think ended the very short term for Napier. It was a brilliant special teams play there late in the third or early in the third. They pinned the Aggies down on the 1-yard line in a driving rainstorm, and it looked like this is our chance. This is our chance to not only save the game but the season. And the Aggies proceeded to drive 99 yards. Really, by the time they were done scoring, it was about 150 yards. And they ate up 12 minutes of the clock and just pounded Florida into the mud. And I don't think Florida will ever recover from that under Napier. I think it is over. That cracked the last straw that broke their back. It was done. Now, they came back and played a little bit when the third stringers were in for A&M, but that ended the Napier career. I can't imagine being a fan and watching that happen on your home field.
I don't know if they'll win this coming weekend at Mississippi State. It's certainly I think it's probably a lot coin. I bet Florida's going to be favored by 4 points.
They're
going to
come out. They're going to beat Mississippi State just because they got embarrassed. And embarrassed teams tend to bounce back. And that was one of those you walk off the field. This is about your manhood now.
But as the schedule goes on, and we said at the beginning of the season, Florida might be good, and it might not matter because their schedule is going to be crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm pretty sure Florida's not good, because Miami and Texas A&M were 2 of the more Miami and Texas A&M at home. Of the tough games on their schedule, those should have been
the gimmies,
winnables.
Yeah,
because now they've got at Tennessee, Georgia, at Texas, LSU, and Ole Miss left to go. And I'm telling you right now, so far we've seen Tennessee, Texas, and Ole Miss are all looking to embarrass you when they play you. And I got a feeling they will love it. Tennessee would love to embarrass Billy Napier.
Oh.
Josh Heupel would love to be the reason Billy Napier gets fired. And he might very well be.
That's going to be a hell of a cocktail party.
He might get him fired at that game. Man.
And Texas fan, I just want you to file this away. because this is what's going to happen to Florida this year. They are now underwater, and the waves are getting bigger. I mean, it's just now beginning, and it happens to every team in the SEC. And now I guess to some extent it'll be the Big Ten. When you are struggling and you are down, there is no break. There's no break anymore. So when you're in trouble, they keep going after the wound. They'll pick the scab. The next team, no matter what their record is still SEC. Florida's about to get just battered and beaten, and by the end of the year, they're just going to be punch drunk. I watched A&M. Just the onslaught that's coming is unbelievable.
It's funny because Billy Napier reminds me a lot of Tom Herman in that he's an unlikable prick. And I
never took him. I always took him as kind of a riverboat Louisiana coach. You know what I mean?
No,
like a risk taker.
Dick. But right now,
by his haircut,
Billy Napier is a lot more like Charlie Strong at Texas. Like where it's one of those things. Like, how are you this bad? Like how? And it really boils down to. And I say this all the time, Rob. You got to be careful how big of a jump you take when you're changing teams in college football. And everybody who's like, well, if Jeff Traylor would have taken the A&M job, I would say, man, that's a big step. It's a big step. Well, and not to say that he couldn't, but I would have always said it. I think Jeff Traylor will have. If he ever leaves UTSA, I think he goes to a place like Baylor and he can have a lot of success. And if he does that, then you take that next step. But going from Louisiana Lafayette to Florida
is what we call it around A&M.
Going from Louisiana Lafayette to Florida is crazy.
But I don't blame Napier, and I wouldn't blame
I don't
Traylor. It's not their fault. You got to jump on that train when it's coming by. But it's incumbent on the university. Trust me. Or it could be a $76 million mistake.
Yes.
To make the right hire, even if it doesn't look good. Even if you look at it and go, this doesn't move the needle, but it's the right hire. Let me tell you right now, watching goofy Aggie coach. I'm talking Elko's goofy, man, just waddling around on the sidelines looking a little confused. The players love him, and it doesn't look right, but it works.
That's so much of a better hire than Jimbo Fisher was ever going to be.
And that looks so good. Jimbo walking around in maroon boots, looking fast, talking fast, doing fast stuff.
That's all people care. That was Aggie getting enamored with, we're in the SEC now. We got to have a big-time coach, and he was never going to be good. He was not a fit. And I think A&M's got the right coach now in Mike Elko. I'm not saying, what I think the right coach is for A&M means, I think they can win 9-10 games, some years. I know Aggie.
Settle down now.
I know Aggie fan wants to say, well, he's the right coach to get us a championship.
He is.
I don't think that coach exists on this planet.
Oh, come on.
But
come on. Seriously, you're going to go there? Seriously.
How many titles have you seen in your lifetime?
You know what? that the recourse is that. Come on. And now, seriously, how dare you say something like that?
It's just
what are you talking about? What Texas hadn't seen anything in 12 years, and they get a coach in the right time, and the flash hits.
There's a difference between 12 years and 80-something years.
Let me tell you, Texas fan, I've been propping you guys up today, but I'm telling you, you will not be number one at the end of the year. You're going to lose 2 games.
Why are you acting like I'm a Texas fan?
You are Texas fan.
No, I'm not.
That. Oh, come on, Mr. Austin. You don't think you are, but you did enough radio in there where it comes out. It does, and I don't have a problem with it. But
Mac Brown and Bill Little tried to get me fired. They tried to make me lose my job.
Well, I'm telling you. To say something that A&M could never do it and there's not a coach out there, that's just ill-conceived and wrong. I mean, that's like saying that about, Michigan will never win again. No, they will be back. Just like at some point Penn State's going to win it again. At some point A&M will too. It's not that far away from any of the schools that you talk about. And just to say because they're a bunch of Aggies and they're in College Station, they're never going to win is just aggravating, and that's what happens to Aggie fan.
What about
when you say crap like that?
Can Army win one?
No, there's certain schools that will never win it because they're not set up. I mean, Army, they don't even offer, the NIL. They're never going to. They are what they are. But even little school has an opportunity now. Things are different. There's a tournament now. You don't have to just go on beauty. Now you have to go win it. So there's that. But to say something as asinine as that's what Aggie fan goes, are you kidding me? How dare you say something like that?
Rob.
That you will never do it. There's not a coach.
39
yes,
or whatever.
But you know what? In 1939, we were still driving around 2-cylinder. I mean, things change. I mean, just to say something like that, that's why every Aggie fan goes, all right, here we go. You get number one, and you now say
don't put me with them. Listen.
You just said A&M will never win it.
I've said that since I was, as long as I've been in radio. And so far, I'm
yeah, you're unblemished. You're right.
Unblemished.
You're right.
Unblemished.
It'll never happen. I cannot wait until Thanksgiving. I cannot wait to punch you guys in the face after you have gone through 6 weeks of SEC and you come staggering into College Station trying to figure out who your quarterback is. Is it the freshman who has now made freshman mistakes, or is it Quinn Ewers who's reverted back to what he was? An ineffectual guy who can't make a decision. Wait till you have gone through the battles, till Georgia treats you like they've been looking for you, not like Kentucky, who they know. Wait till you go through all that. It's coming, baby.
By the way, nobody likes to talk about this. No Aggies like to talk about it, but they did. That was a shared title with 8-0 Cornell. The Big Red were unbeaten that year.
We don't claim. That's stupid. I'm not saying that. I've never said the Aggies have won it in 39. I've seen it. That's dumb. Just like resting on, BYU got a title. Resting on that. Sure, you won a title. You did a long time ago in a different situation. It's a brand new world.
All right.
We'll talk in November. Ride the wave, Texas fan, but it's early yet. We just talked about how the SEC in Florida, it keeps coming. You're riding good. You look good. And there's no reason why you shouldn't.
I'm not on Team Longhorn, FYI.
Well, there's going to be a bunch of them that are going to be out of the
Don't put it on me. Listen, I grew up watching Texas football, and when Texas won, I would be excited, but Texas has done enough to me to end my career that I'm no fan of them. But I will say, yeah, they do look like a different level animal right now. But you're right. It is a long-ass season, and most teams lose a game they're not supposed to lose over the course of the season. And then when you've got to play games against teams like Georgia the week after you play OU, it's probably coming.
No, Texas has already passed that hurdle. They've gotten past the teams that were going to jump up and surprise them. I really do believe that. I mean, I'm not trying to take away from Texas. They are a great football team.
I think Oklahoma could still surprise them.
Yeah, I think.
And I don't think Oklahoma's good.
Everything I just described to you is truly going to happen to OU. I mean, by the end of this year, OU.
Oklahoma is so ill-equipped for this.
Tennessee is going to destroy OU this
weekend.
Yeah,
Oklahoma is much more unprepared for life in the SEC than Texas was. Certainly.
It's just unlike anything you guys are used to. I just keep trying to warn you, and it's going great, and there's no reason to think it'll happen. But let me tell you, one chink in your army, one, and it's.
But you have to agree, like even when Aggie went to the SEC. Aggie went from being a mid-level Big 12 program to the SEC, and it was overwhelming.
Oh yeah, we had no concept of what was required.
Texas was in the Final Four last year,
right,
and a play away from playing for a national title.
And that's the good news, because they saw this coming and they went and did what SEC schools do: is they built from the inside out. A&M didn't do that. When Sumlin arrived, we were running 150 plays a game, trying to finesse our way through. And they weren't prepared. Texas had the benefit of watching what A&M went through and goes, you know what, if we're going that way, we might sacrifice a scholarship or two to a 5-star that we could have gotten for a 4-star lineman that we absolutely have to have.
Yeah.
And they made the right moves, and it's obvious. They went and did the things that they needed to do to be prepared, including getting an SEC coach.
Yeah.
So they were far more prepared, and it's obvious, than A&M.
All right, let's hear some more from Mike McCarthy on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
George gets justice. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, our motto is simple. George gets justice. But what does that mean for you? It means you get an award-winning team of attorneys who will fight for everything taken from you so that you can get back to what matters in life. When we say George gets justice, it's just not a motto. It's a commitment to you. Call us at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. George gets justice. Getgeorge.com.
Connecticut Quality Water Softeners, they are studs of water softeners, that's for sure. Got one in my house, and I tell you what, it is really a game changer. There's no question about it. I didn't think there would be a difference, but there is. Connecticut is absolutely the best. Look, Connecticut's been serving San Antonio for over 50 years. Their products are made in America, and you know as well as I do, you live in San Antonio and South Texas, boy, a water softener is a must because the water is hard. It can do a lot of damage. And why not have the best? Give them a call at 656-PURE, 656-7873, because when you do that, they're going to put a Connecticut quality water softener in your home for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. You heard me right. 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. If you don't like it after 90 days, they'll come take it out. You don't owe them a dime. Call Connecticut. You won't regret it. 656-PURE, 656-7873, or ConnecticutSA.com.
How about them Cowboys? Jim Beam, bringing fans together across Cowboys country. We rise as one in Texas in handed-down silver and blue jerseys. We come together for America's team every time they take the field. So let's share a round of Jim Beam highballs on game day in Cowboys country. 40% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2024 James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We did clear one of our trouble spots along 35 northbound, the off-ramp to westbound Loop 410. That wreck is cleared. The ramp now reopened. Now in Schertz, we still have this wreck at 35 southbound just past Schertz Parkway. It's a 20-minute delay. It's in the left lane, so stop and go from FM 1103. And right now on the far west side of town on Highway 90 eastbound 211 to Hunt Lane, right now that's about a 25-minute commute. A stall on I-10 westbound at Crossroads taking up the left lane. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, man, what a weekend of football we've got to talk about. We'll react to the Cowboys, we'll react to the Texans, we'll react to the Longhorns.
Yeah, the Longhorns with the UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor. The Aggies, all the football talk. Monday on The Blitz starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Yeah. Hey, you guys want to go see Till Lindemann?
And what is that?
He is the lead singer of Rammstein. You familiar with that fine group?
That's the German death metal band that has the flaming penis.
Du hast mich. Yeah.
You listen to that, you got to go to church.
That's right.
Go say a prayer.
If you want to, where's he playing at? I don't have my. Let me.
Here, let's see.
I'll pull it up here. Hang on. Look at me, a pro radioer. Not on that page. No, not there. Not there.
There it is. He will be at the beautiful Techport on September the 7th. Hey, he's here in a day. It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
You want to go see Till Lindemann?
No.
I'd have thought he had a scary name. That's not a scary name.
Du hast mich.
I thought his name would have been like Boris Howitzer.
Boris is a Russian name.
Yeah.
He's German.
Gunther,
that's a German
Gunther
name.
Howitzer.
Yes.
Of Rammstein. Didn't they have the flaming penis?
I don't know.
Didn't they have the penis that shot fire?
I don't know. They should. If
on
they
their
don't,
syphilis tour.
I don't know why I don't think they broke up. I don't think Rammstein broke up. Till's just doing his own thing. But either way,
he's doing freeform jazz. He's not doing anything that he does. He's kind of expanding his musical realm.
He's playing the saxophone.
It's his unplugged tour. He doesn't have a flamethrower. It's a lighter.
I looked him up today, and it was like apparently he just wrote a poem.
What?
And he
keep going.
He posted it, and it's about a lawsuit that he's involved with the German publication Spiegel.
Der Spiegel is their big magazine,
yeah. For allegedly falsifying documents in their legal battles. There are allegations against Rammstein vocalist Till Lindemann that sexual misdeeds are said to have occurred. And Lindemann's legal team has gotten Spiegel from publishing any further stories on the allegations.
I'm reading some of the accusations. He plied young people with alcohol and drugs before, during, and after concerts in order to have sex with them.
When you say young people,
I'm just quoting a.
Because how old is Till Lindemann?
He doesn't look young.
No, he's
denied these claims, by the way. These are all alleged.
Yeah.
And the legal actions do continue.
Which, by the way, listen, he's 61 years old. If you're a rock star, you should get to have sex with young women. That's what it's all about. They just got to be women. It can't be.
Yeah.
I need to know what's the age of consent in Germany.
Right.
And
what
if
is the age of consent in Germany?
I don't know, Vic. You're the producer. Figure it out.
We got a lot of army dudes.
Yeah, one of you guys. Well, I guarantee somebody in the audience knows.
Stationed somewhere in Germany. You
Where's
know
that
what the age is?
That guy that brought us MREs. I bet he knows.
So chime in.
The age of consent in Germany is 14.
Get the hell out of here. Let's do the American age of consent, please.
Yeah,
that goes state by
18.
state.
Let's go 18. Let's just
say 18.
Standardized. If you can vote, you can do other stuff.
Yeah. There's more 17s than 18s in the U.S.
I'm sticking with 18. I think that's a fair.
That's perfect.
I think that's probably a little low, but I'm
all right. Now, you can't give an 18-year-old alcohol.
No.
You might be able to in Germany. I don't know the rules there either.
I'm going to lay money, yes.
But if she's 21 and you give her alcohol, like, that's just rock star life.
Oh, in Germany, you can be 16 to drink.
So 14 for sex, 16 for drinking.
Yeah.
So he could technically be boozing up a 16-year-old and banging her and not doing a crime at all.
Nope.
Wow.
In Germany.
In Germany.
Right.
I got to be honest.
Du hast. Imagine some 61-year-old dude.
That's awful.
Jeez.
This guy, man.
Old balls and loose skin.
And a flaming penis.
Gross. Gross.
What a visual.
How old are you, Vic?
53.
Oh, you're not even close.
Yeah.
Even Rob's not 61,
Not
and
yet.
Rob doesn't
Yeah.
have sex with drunk 16-year-olds in Germany.
Not since, well.
No, not for a while.
I like how in Germany you can have sex with a girl at 14 as long as she's not drinking. Like if she's
Right.
sober, it's allowed.
Right.
But at 16, now you can get her lit up and get after it. Yeah, I don't know anything about, like, he's denying these allegations, and I mean, hell, he's allowed to travel internationally. He'll be in San Antonio tomorrow. So
Go see it.
You want to go see it? How about caller number 5? Du hast.
What does that mean?
I think it means you hate me.
Really?
Yeah. You hate.
I'm watching some video of
Du hast.
his show in Dusseldorf in 2023.
Where he's having sex with a 14-year-old on stage. Legally, perfectly legally, I might add. Spiegel. Within my rights.
This is a show, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm guessing there will be less production when it's just him.
I don't see any fire, but there's a lot of stuff going on here.
And they used to, like, dress up in these costumes that had, like, all these straps on them and stuff. They almost look like sex costumes.
Well, I think they're still in it.
Okay. All right. Speaking of Du hast mich, Dak Prescott, Jerry Du hast mich, Dak right now. He's pissed at Dak, I bet. Oh, he's so pissed. They asked Dak if he felt like they overlooked the Saints. You wanted to hear this earlier. Here's what Dak had to say about overlooking Nolans.
Yeah, I mean, it's the NFL. I talk about each and every week. No games are played on paper. As far as riding a high, I know I wasn't personally. I don't think the guys in the locker room necessarily were. I mean, I talked about how much meat we left on the bone offensively. And that's simply why you can't listen to other people's opinions and read what you guys write respectfully. I mean, yeah, y'all may have put this team on a high more than we should have been, and now we just simply have got to reset. We've got to respond. We're not going undefeated. I mean, hadn't been done in 50 years. Woo, surprise. So it's about getting back to it and finding a way to respond to put the best team on the field next week.
Okay, he's right. First of all, let me just start out by saying, yes, he's correct. They weren't going to go undefeated. That's not the issue here. He sure doesn't sound real upset about playing like total ass yesterday either, though.
Well, his numbers in a vacuum, apart from the interceptions, weren't awful.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, my numbers were fine.
Yeah, when you lose by 100 points, usually the passer has some numbers at the end of the game.
I think
let's check his first half stats and see how good those look.
The takeaway for me was highlighted in some of the stats that I've seen that there was no downfield work from him, whether it's his decision or the defense took it away from him or the offense. The plan was what they did, but what they did was not appropriate. Throwing the ball inside the 15 yards all day long. There was no over the top. One time they broke out. The running game non-existent. Rolling out Deuce Vaughn in the first quarter to run off tackle. What the hell was that? That's never going to work, ever. And I know you run plays to set up other plays, but I guarantee you when New Orleans saw them run a dude that you blow on real hard and falls over off tackle, they thought, well, this is going to be a pretty easy day.
You can't feel good if that's going to be part of the game plan. Like you say, gadget, give me a gadget,
Yeah, I get using him, but off tackle is the last place I'd use him.
That I don't think Jerry was seeing gadget juice when they wrote that play up.
So let's talk about Jerry for a second. So he watched his team walk in after a 16-game home win streak. First home game, coming home from Cleveland. You know he rolled off the copter this morning strutting into the stadium. That place was popping beforehand. Everything was falling into place. And then warm-ups began. And let me tell you, you could tell from the get-go, things just don't look right.
I mean, it was, yeah. You're talking about a drive-in, one drive each, and it was like, there's something going on here.
They're not ready to play. Whatever they're seeing, they're not prepared for, or they're just thinking this was going to be easier than it is.
And I'll be honest, every drive that started, I was like, oh, they'll figure it out here in a minute. And then it just wasn't coming, and it never came. And they got manhandled yesterday is the best way I could tell. And it wasn't just Dak. It was the defense got bullied as well. In fact, if I had – we'll get to losers later on, but I think the biggest loser from this Cowboys game is on the defensive side of the ball. They did ask Dak about his play. How's he feel about how he's played so far through these two games?
I tell you, my expectations are crazy high and go off of win, so I'm not going to give you a great, maybe a realistic answer, I guess you can say. I'm seeing it well. I'm seeing it well, putting the ball where I want to. As I said, that one interception is going to get at me just because Tyron made a hell of a play, did a good job of playing through one route, getting to the other. But outside of that, maybe a few more throws that I want back. But as far as seeing the defense, getting the offense in what I want, in the position and the plays that we want to, I feel good about it and confident that we're going to continue to get better as a team. And I am particularly.
I mean, I guess he's he's not letting this game ruin everything, which you shouldn't. But I just want some sort of we were way worse than we were supposed to be. I want some accountability. Like, I sucked in the first half. I was awful, and it just feels like there's a whole lot of there's nothing to worry about. We all knew we were going to lose a game eventually. This was going to happen. We'll probably lose another game. It's not what I want to hear from him after a game like that. You lose a game 21-20, I'm cool with this talk. Like, I'm cool with feeling like, yeah, everything's still cool. That's a tough loss, but you know what? We were in there with this team, and if they were 2-0 and then they lost by a point to the Ravens, I wouldn't be saying I expect different from Dak. But when they got absolutely pantsed by an inferior team in their house, I expect you to sound like you're disappointed at least. He doesn't even sound disappointed.
Well, he doesn't have to make, although it was funny watching him try to make a tackle. He doesn't have to make tackles. His defense didn't give up gash plays on every snap like the Cowboy defense did. But the one thing that I'll tell you about Dak, the numbers that we're going to be paying attention to is where and how he's throwing the ball. Yeah, he says he's seen it, 27 of 39, 293, a touchdown, 2 interceptions. One, I'll give Tyrann Mathieu a hell of a play. I'll give him that. I mean, sometimes the bear eats you, and I'll give him that was a little bit late and behind, but I'm not going to blame him for that. The other one was a desperation heave. He didn't do this at all last year, no interceptions. But for me, the takeaway was the Cowboys' inability to stop the run, to stop the bleeding. Last time we saw them play at home, they gave up 48 to the Packers. That was the last home game. A total of 92 points have been scored on you at home in your last 2 home games.
Yeah.
In the offseason, we knew you had to sign Dak, and we knew you had to deal with CD, but the real need was defensive line and running back. And again, what you needed, you did not have when you had to have it.
They asked Dak what was going through his mind when the defense was out there struggling the way they were.
Yeah, it's surprising, but it's the NFL. Hell, I'm thinking it'd be nice to be doing that on our side of the ball more than I'm worried or critiquing our defense. Obviously, that's a good team. I mean, Alvin Kamara's looked damn good. Derek Carr put the ball where he needed to. That offense is rolling right now. I mean, we're 2 games in, but I'm not naive to their stats of, or whatever it was, the 9 straight, and then they walked into this game and continued on that. So, I mean, credit to the play caller over there, to that team of coming out, being ready on a noon start. And, it made it tough on our defense, which made it tough on the whole team. So, I'm trying to get there with our offense.
Okay.
And
we'd all like that, I think.
And the offense, I think is not our concern. I think the offense is going to be all right. I think Dak and this offense they're going to smooth things out, and they ran into a buzzsaw. What is even more concerning, Derek Carr yesterday, he only threw the ball 16 times. 11 to 16, yeah. 243, two pass, one rush TD. That's what is terrifying. Because we've got two different coaches now, two different schemes, and two different home games. You got roped, just beaten and battered and embarrassed.
B. Castaneda says, what makes the Saints inferior? I don't know.
Nothing.
All I know is if you thought they were going to win more than 7.5 games this year, you were in the minority, apparently. So, like, if the Saints weren't inferior, then you should have made a lot of money off of it. But the Saints have the worst head coach in the NFL, and they just smacked you around. We got more of this coming. And losers coming up next hour. Morning Huddle, 94.1.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. KTFM Floresville.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Train heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to find your local independent train dealer. Traininfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of 98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. I had an advantage. My legs were a weapon. 6,109 rushing yards, still unbeaten records. That's why I bet at BetUS.com. They offer American sports bettors an advantage. The industry's biggest bonus, a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. And get expert picks and predictions on their very own BetUS TV. Take advantage. Join me online at BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. BetUS, where the game begins.
I don't feel so good.
You do feel hot. Dayquil Kids will take care of that fever.
What about my cough?
Dayquil Kids has that covered.
Will it make my throat feel better?
Yes, that too.
But will it taste good?
Yep, Dayquil Kids comes in your favorite flavor.
purple?
Well, yes, it's grape.
Try new DayQuil Kids Plus Fever, the daytime coughing, aching, sore throat fever just for kids medicine. Safe for kids 6+. Use as directed.
Whether you own a local business or a global one, you're always looking for ways to position your operation to create opportunities and move on them faster. With Bank of America, you get access to experts, award-winning insights, and business solutions so powerful, you'll make every move matter. Locally and globally. Visit bankofamerica.com/banking for business to learn more. What would you like the power to do? Copyright 2024 Bank of America N.A.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We'll start with some good news. Did clear that wreck on 35 southbound just past Schertz Parkway. That was a multi-vehicle accident, so you still might notice a little bit of a slow residual delay. Also cleared the stall downtown at 35 southbound at St. Mary's. Still working the stall on I-10 westbound at Crossroads, but that's now off to the left shoulder, so hopefully that will clear soon. If you guys see something we're not talking about, call us on the traffic tip line 210-785-2601. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys are now 1-1 after dropping their home opener to the New Orleans Saints 44-19. The Houston Texans improved to 2-0 as they beat the Chicago Bears 19-13 last night on Sunday Night Football. Your Texas Longhorns are now number 1 in the AP poll, vaulting over Georgia after the 56-7 win over UTSA. The Texas A&M Aggies are now 25th after they beat Florida 33-20 in their SEC opener. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hour number 3 of the Huddle. We got a winner there, Vic?
Yeah, Edwin got him. I don't know who it is.
You don't know who it is?
No, Edwin didn't tell me yet.
The guy spoke German. We couldn't
Who's going to see
understand
Till? Till Lindemann Franklin. Till, like we said, will not be having sex with any underage women in San Antonio.
If he knows what's good for him.
That's right, Bubba. We don't tolerate that behavior here. Where were we? We were talking about the Cowboys just getting their ass kicked all day long. You know what we didn't get to discuss? The fights this weekend.
Yeah. Well,
there was a
win is scripted, right?
Canelo got the job done. Didn't get a finish.
He got a nice little left hook in there. It just showed him he can take a punch because he got tagged.
That dude is tough. He's got something, but it's just, Canelo's a different level than that guy anyway. And in the UFC, Dana was pissed at the end of that thing.
So I didn't get to see any of it. What did it look like?
It looked incredible.
Did it really?
Yeah.
I mean, the exterior looked pretty incredible, but I wondered what it looked like on the inside of the building.
I'll say this to you because I know that you're like you play video games sometimes. it looked like they were fighting in a Mortal Kombat arena.
Yeah.
Like there was a mountain and like, I mean, it looked awesome. And there were people who were like, who really believe the UFC is going to get like an Emmy for this. Like it's going
really
to be
that spectacular. That's cool. I'm glad it worked out. I'd like to see more events done
now,
like that.
Unfortunately, the last 2 fights were both just dreadful.
Were they? Why?
Because they were lopsided decisions, one-way traffic.
By the favorite?
No.
Oh, well, that makes
the underdog won both fights, but they were not
just slow.
Yeah. The people were bitching afterwards about the UFC having all these champions now are these like dudes who just wrestle hump you, like take you down and hold you down. And it's like, well, maybe don't let them take you down then. Work on your takedown defense. But Merab Dvalishvili, who was about a plus 110 dog, plus 115, just dominated Sean O'Malley to the point.
Surprise.
I'll tell you exactly what happened in the Sean O'Malley fight a little bit later because he makes a list of the guys. We do a list every Monday now
of our
called losers. Sean O'Malley makes the list, and I'll tell you exactly why. At 8:30, that you're gonna have to wait on the rest of that. But yeah, Dana was like, hopefully a lot of people tuned in and saw what we're able to do here, and it was incredible. And then hopefully they turned it off before the co-main event started, and we made some fans. Even he was like, yeah, this was garbage. These last 2 fights were garbage.
Well, if the scenery was good, that might be enough.
Oh, it looked really awesome.
Yeah.
But that I'm not surprised at that part at all. Like that Sphere is a hell of a thing, hell of a place to watch a show.
We need more of those.
More spheres.
More. I know they're like 8 billion a piece, but
let's put one here.
There's a bar that opened in North Dallas. I got geofenced with my phone yesterday. That is like half a sphere, like part of a sphere.
That they call that like a clamshell.
Is it seriously?
No, I mean that's what it is.
But it's like you. It looks like you're sitting in stands, and you're watching the game like it's part of the sphere, like you're actually sitting there and you're at floor level.
Okay.
So it's filmed in like I guess that 5K.
No, I haven't seen anything like that.
Brand new bar that opened up. I haven't seen it. I saw an ad that rolled through. We need more of those things.
Yeah.
Because
why didn't you go to that thing?
I was at a game and hot and sweaty and being made fun of by a bunch of New Orleans coonasses.
Why didn't you leave that game at halftime?
I didn't have a vehicle, and I was excited. I was going back to the Yingling post party. I needed a beer after the beatdown.
Man, I bet the post party was sad.
Oh no, there are lots of Saints fans. They're having a good time.
Okay.
Oh, they're dancing. It was fun. And you would have, it was like walking second line at a funeral. But
now, when you showed up at this game, were you wearing Cowboy gear?
Of course I was in Cowboy gear.
Oh, man, that's a big rookie move. You should have worn Aggie gear, which had the Cowboys won, you would have been like, yeah, I'm a Texas guy.
The luck.
I'm a Texas guy, so obviously I'm here to support the Cowboys. But when you wear Cowboys gear and they get their ass kicked, like now you just look like a loser.
Well, there was a lot of us. We all look like losers, man. There was a dude. It's funny. Cowboy fan wears jersey, right? Cowboy fan wears their favorite guy's jersey.
Were you wearing a jersey?
No, I have of course, I'm almost 60. I have a fishing shirt.
Okay.
I have a Columbia fishing shirt.
What about Minix?
He had a T-shirt on.
No jersey for Minix?
Let me tell you, there was a bit of a rub because our good friend over at Yingling that had us up for the Bill Bates tailgate, we give away these tickets every week, and we went up and enjoyed that. Dude, you want these tickets. $100. Those things are worth. They feed you, they drink you for hours prior and post the game. It was a phenomenal thing. But a Cowboy fan all dressed up in jerseys. Saint fan dresses up.
Oh yeah,
they're not. You saw some Kamara jerseys, and you see a few of this and that. And some lots of Drew Brees still floating around. But Saint fan is in full Saint regalia,
like they're going to Mardi Gras.
Yeah, they're dressed in black and gold regalia.
They're like a poor man's Raider fan.
Yes, it's not jersey. It is full on. We're all in this, and they were having a good time, and rightfully so. There's nothing more fun than rolling into somebody else's city and kicking their ass. There's nothing better in the world,
especially when you're dressed like an a-hole.
Oh yeah, and you can dance around looking a fool, and there's nothing anybody can say.
Because there's nothing worse than getting up in that costume and then getting your ass beat and like having to Uber back all sad to your hotel, your Holiday Inn Express, and pack up and head back to Louisiana.
No, those coon asses were dancing.
They was happy. Michael Martinez is our winner.
Hey, good job, Mike.
Be careful, Michael.
Go to church.
Make
Go to
sure
church
you
on Thursday.
And I hope whoever you take, don't take your underage daughter to that show.
Oh, she's 14.
This is San Antonio.
We're in Germany. German laws don't apply.
This is not Germany. No. I'm sure that's what he'll say. In my country.
New Braunfels. We go to New Braunfels, eh?
Did you hear what happened in Texas? Outside of Houston, actually in Pearland.
Pearland?
A shooting.
That is Houston.
At a DoorDash driver.
Oh, dude.
Now, this wasn't just any shooting. This was a shooting by men on horseback.
In Pearland.
In Pearland. Well, in Rocheron, I think, actually, but general area. Yeah. DoorDash driver was delivering some Panera bread. And he was stuck behind a group of men on horseback. There was a long line.
What do you mean, stuck behind a...
Well, there was about a 50-plus car backup on this road that he said he was stuck on. There were 3 guys riding horses in the street. And they had intentionally spread their 3 horses out to cover both lanes. And they were messing with every car that attempted to go around them by getting their horses in front of them and then having a good laugh at them.
Oh, this wasn't like a protest. They were just having fun.
They're just dudes riding their horses. And, like, there's some places in Houston, like in the city of Houston, where dudes ride horses on the street. It always throws me off.
Houston has no zoning
at
all, so that doesn't surprise me.
Now, a couple trucks, now this is what you do in Texas.
Yeah.
You just go off-road and you go around them.
I'd get behind them and honk my horn.
Oh, I don't know if you do that.
Why?
Well, Matthew was after all the trucks went around him, Matthew, the DoorDash driver, he was directly behind him.
He didn't have a four-wheeler.
He had a Hyundai Sonata.
No, not good in the dirt.
He didn't feel good going off-road.
Don't blame him.
So he politely asked, hey, would you guys mind consolidating so we can go around here? And one of the riders said, shut your bitch ass up.
Wow.
After one final attempt at swerving around the horses, the left rider quickly got in front of him again, forcing him to slam on his brakes and forcing a loud WTF out of my mouth, which apparently set the rider off into a rage. That's when one of the riders dismounted his horse and pulled out a gun and said, I ought to pop your ass right now. The other 2 riders maneuvered their horses to the right, blocking Matthew and trapping his car. He says, I immediately finished rolling my window up, making sure my doors were locked as he approached, and before he came up to my window, I flat out panicked and decided to straight up floor it directly to the side ditch to my left. Miraculously got around him without getting stuck. Before I was able to get out of the ditch and start driving the hell away from them, the gun fired and struck his car.
Dude.
Yeah. Multiple shots were fired. He met Fort Bend police. There's a bullet hole in the seat of his car. Like, so a bullet went into his car.
Yeah, these guys need to go to jail.
Yeah.
This is attempted murder. This guy needs to spend 10 years in the hole.
One of the bullets went into the trunk, hit a frying pan before going through the back of the rear driver's side seat. So, like,
talking about going to church.
Yeah.
This guy did.
Pretty much all that was between. He said, Matthew says he believes the frying pan is what saved his life. It shows a picture of the frying pan, which got a nice little ding.
Put that up on the wall, man.
No doubt. But yeah, these guys.
Did they get him? Are they the Cowboys in question in custody, I hope?
Well, first of all, they're investigating the case. They don't have suspects at this time.
I figure it'll be pretty easy to find him.
But here's the deal. He still had Panera to deliver. Went on to deliver the order to the customer, explained what had happened. They understood that the delivery time took a little longer than expected, and they gave him a $10 tip. So, which brought his total earnings to $25 for almost getting murdered. But The customer did message him on his way home and say Panera Bread messed up the order inside the bag. Then they gave him someone else's food. So, wow. So this is the best part. He finished the order, and DoorDash sent him a message saying, hey, you've got a contract violation on your account for the 3-hour delivery time, and your account's going to be reviewed for deactivation. We don't think we want you driving for us anymore. Yeah. I know you got shot at, but you know
what? Sometimes God closes the door and opens a window. Jump out that window, man. You survived the DoorDash gig. Go do something safer like 7-Eleven overnights.
Yeah.
Go find yourself a picnic someplace on the west side and do some overnight work.
Hey, guys.
A safe place.
San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. That is Monday, September 30th. Oh, boy, we're 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, we're getting close. And, hey, our suits are a little nervous. We know you guys are playing. Go ahead and sign up. You guys, we know you're coming, and you guys always show up on, like, the Friday before when everybody's piled in and start calling me begging for space. So I can get my suit off my back. So I can get him off my back. Seriously. Sign up today.
Oh, he was texting us when we were in Vegas. Like, hey, guys, let's push this golf tournament.
See, because he doesn't know. It's his first year. He doesn't know what you guys are like. You've been putting it off. Just go talk to your boss. He's going to pay for it anyway. Get your foursome. If you're playing alone, you better get in now so we can place you in the right place. You're going to be in with like 4D players. So sign up today. You save some money, $400. Go to sasportstar.com. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, man. I've got my clubs out. I'll be practicing all week.
Yeah, $120 a person, $400 for a foursome. There's a hole-in-one contest for a shot at $50K or a Mercedes-Benz. Brought to you by PPL Motorhomes and Mercedes-Benz of Selma. The Fall Golf Classic benefits San Antonio sports, presented by the law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
You know, Jesse always brings his own particular swag. You get swag from us. You get swag from all of our whole sponsors. Jesse always has cool stuff.
Well, I'm looking
good
forward to
sayings
that.
on his T-shirts, things I can't even say on TV.
And sponsored in part by Jim Beam and Flight by Yingling. That's Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
I wonder how many nipples we'll see.
Is that a regular thing?
Yeah, you'll see nipples.
Male or lady nipples?
I just said nipples.
Oh.
I don't want to get hopes up, but there could be some shirtless swings going on. But I mean, nothing wrong with a good nipple. See? Dude. There are certain things you figure, like, how are you ever going to come back from this? How am I ever going to see you not see it?
Can you bend your toe?
Can you bend your toe?
That's my Michelle.
I'm trying to figure out where her toe was.
Poor Shannon.
No, poor Michelle. Evidently, she had that toe stuck someplace. She needed to move it. That toe was lodged someplace that needed to be wiggled. I don't know where it could have been.
Poor Shannon, my ass.
Can you move your toe? What the hell are you guys doing?
That's what I want to know. Okay, what kind of moves was he working?
I'm going to be honest,
had to move her toe.
So I opened up my socials, Saturday, and it popped up again. I think this is a giant publicity stunt.
You think it's a work?
I think we've been worked by Sparks. Oh, I think he advertises a male supplement. He's already, the spots are everywhere, dude. I think we've been, ESPN, Disney, Mr. Mickey did not fire. Minnie Mouse was not upset by this.
I mean, he damn sure wasn't.
And she was like, maybe Mickey should be down with the stuff. So I feel like, I'm just saying, I feel like we've been taken advantage. We've been hoodwinked.
Minnie looks down and see how her toe bends. She's like, I wonder if he'd like me.
Now there is that little statement that kind of takes away from my argument, because
Mickey,
even if I was part of a publicity stunt, I wouldn't be saying, you know what I should say? Hey, will you move your toe?
Yeah,
that's
Mickey ain't giving it to Minnie like that.
Oh, Mickey is a player. Are you kidding?
Not like that though.
Especially when Minnie's all dressed up, got her good red bow on.
Sounds like Pluto. Or Goofy, maybe. I don't know.
Well, I aspire to that.
Oh, don't we all?
We all aspire to be Pluto
all
in bed, you know what I mean?
All right, let's take a look around. We've talked about the Cowboys and the Texans. We'll take a look at the rest of the league next. And then losers coming up at 8:30. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, man, what a weekend of football we've got to talk about. We'll react to the Cowboys, we'll react to the Texans, we'll react to the Longhorns.
Yeah, the Longhorns with the UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor. The Aggies, all the football talk. Monday on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Am I crazy, or has real estate gotten out of control lately? Between guaranteed cash offer programs and new laws about agent commissions, it's so confusing. What's not confusing is paying someone a low flat fee to sell your house. And that's where Listing Spark comes in. Listing Spark is Texas' flat fee real estate company. Flat fee selling is sweeping the nation because it takes less time and it keeps more money in your pocket. In fact, professional real estate investors and flippers have been using Listing Spark for years. With Listing Spark, you don't pay hefty agent commissions, and you don't leave money on the table with a guaranteed cash offer program. In other words, if you have a house worth $400,000, you actually sell it for $400,000, and you don't pay $24,000 in agent commissions. Doesn't that sound better? And get this, if you get started today with Listing Spark, you can list with a local brokerage for as low as $395. Call 800-MLS-LIST or go to listingspark.com. That's listingspark.com. Listing Spark. Thousands of Texan homeowners agree. Selling's better with a low flat fee.
Time is of the essence with COVID-19. Prescription oral treatment must be taken within the first 5 days of symptoms. If you have a high risk factor, ask your doctor if treatment is right for you. Learn more at treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at progressive.com.
Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Watch captivating dramas and gripping mysteries, whether it's entire series of massive hits like Sherlock and Vera, new seasons of originals like The Responder, starring international Emmy winner Martin Freeman, or an extraordinary selection of beloved treasures featuring Idris Elba, Jodie Comer, Matthew McFadden, Benedict Cumberbatch, and more. Only on BritBox. Watch with a free trial at BritBox.com.
You know Diamonds Direct for their exquisite diamonds and fine jewelry. What about luxury watches? With a hand-picked collection by the industry's top timepiece experts, skip the waiting list and get the timepiece you've been eyeing right away. And this month only, enjoy 0% interest for 5 years on all the top brands. Imagine owning a $15,000 luxury watch for just $250 a month. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Diamonds Direct, where you can shop direct for diamonds and watches.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the HEB Plus, located at 9238 North Loop 1604 West and Bandera Road in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Sunday, September 29th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by HEB.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
NFL Week 2, only one game to go. We'll see that tonight between the Eagles and the Falcons. Bird-on-bird crime.
Should be fun. This on paper. I know, as Dak told us, you don't play these games on paper, but it looks like an offense trying to find its way, figure out what's going on with Atlanta and this Philly team that's just loaded with talent on the offensive side of the ball. Can they score enough points, and can the defense slow down what could be a pretty stout offense there for the Atlanta if they can just get quarterback points straight?
If Kirk can figure it out. But, yeah, and no A.J. Brown for the Eagles. That's a big deal. He's a good sports player.
The Cowboys weren't alone this week. There's a lot of teams that got surprised at the very least.
I think that's the best way to put it. And let's start with probably what ended up being the biggest surprise this week was the Raiders knocking off the Ravens in Baltimore, which might be bad news for the Cowboys. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to catch them off that.
They look bad. It's not like, Vegas was on fire and just firing on every cylinder. Baltimore allowed this to happen.
Yeah.
Far more than the Cowboys did. Cowboys didn't allow it to happen. They got bitch slapped.
Yeah.
But Baltimore just let the Raiders hang around.
Well, it looked like they were going to run away from them, and they just kept hanging.
And here they came.
13 unanswered, and the Raiders get a win 26-23 over the Ravens, who are now 0-2. And that is alarming if you're a Cowboy fan, because now you're getting a desperate and probably pissed off Ravens team
you're at home
next weekend.
I mean, there's a little bit there, but yeah, this is worst case scenario.
Well, I don't know how. Listen, they were at home.
Yeah, I mean 16-1, but that one was awful.
It was a bad one. The Jags, man, this is one of the ones I kept saying, like, I want to bet this game, but I don't want to back the Browns.
How much of this game did you see? Because all I saw was the YouTube, little 10-minute synopsis of game, and I saw no Jacksonville highlight. I mean, it was all Cleveland and runs and little short passes. What exactly happened?
There's a really good chance that Trevor Lawrence just isn't that good.
Did he suck? Because it literally no highlights.
He doesn't do anything at like a super high level, and I got suckered into him too because, man, when you watch him in college, especially like his first year, it's like, oh, dude, this guy has got everything. It makes me wonder if he's in love with football, because he doesn't seem to be improving, and just doesn't seem to bother him that much when it doesn't go his way. But they made Deshaun Watson look good, which not even really. Deshaun didn't play well either. But Trevor just was bad. Yeah, he doesn't get the ball down the field. We talked about Dak not getting the ball downfield. He got nothing down the field, and just holds the ball, gets sacked. It was a disappointing performance by Jacksonville for sure. I think maybe the most disappointing performance of the day was that Colts offense that I was like, oh, boy, maybe the Colts have something here with their offense. And, dude, they did nothing against the Packers. Got down early and just never showed up. Anthony Richardson, 200 passing yards, 3 picks.
Is the story Richardson not, making the next step progress, or is it Malik Willis and the coaching job?
Well,
or Green Bay.
Malik Willis, 12 of 14, 122 yards and a touchdown, an 82.4 QBR. And having Malik Willis on the field opened up their running game in a way, because they were doing so many RPOs, and Josh Jacobs looked like 2 years ago Josh Jacobs, the guy who wanted to get paid by the Raiders. 32 carries, 151 yards. They had their way on the ground. 4.9 yards per carry on the day for the Green Bay Packers. Just ran it down their throat.
61 yards on the ground.
Now, by the way, the Colts had 7.8 yards per carry. Sounds incredible until you realize that, they only carried it 18 times because they couldn't – they were chasing from the beginning.
There used to be a stat with the Cowboys. Zeke gets 100, Cowboys win.
Yeah.
I wonder what it is with Taylor and 100 yards, because you'd have thought If you told me that playing Green Bay, you'll hold their quarterback to 122 pass yards, your guy got 103, that would have been a prescription for a win. But Malik Willis and a good coach, I'll take that over a potential in Anthony Richardson.
The Bucs, Baker Mayfield and the Bucs get a win over the Lions in Detroit. Some bad coaching at the end of the half by Dan Campbell probably cost his team points. Admittedly, cost his team points. He owned it at the end at least, but that's a bad look. God, Will Levis is such a dope. And you know what? I'm a dope. I've bet on the Titans 2 weeks in a row, and Will Levis both times. Like it's been the right side both times. I swear. I watch these games and I'm like, this is. There's no way I'm going to lose this. And then Will Levis does something inexplicable. Like he's getting sacked and he just throws the ball up into the sky and says, "Ah!" And then every time the other team catches it and then scores a touchdown. It's like it's become his thing. It's making me crazy. And then they're like, after he does a bonehead play, it's showing his commercial, his mayonnaise commercial. And I'm going to get this a-hole off my TV. He's costing me money. I'm not buying your mayonnaise. I'm out on Hellman's mayonnaise. I'm out. In fact, if a restaurant serves Hellman's, I'm leaving the restaurant.
How did Aaron look?
He looked
I'm looking at his numbers, 18 of 30, 176, 2 passing touchdowns, 343 is his fewest through first two games in his career. I was kind of, when I thought about the Jets, I thought, yeah, they're going to win, but they need to look good doing it.
They were outplayed by the Titans.
So they didn't even look good doing it.
They were outplayed by the Titans. There's no better way to put it. The Titans had 2 disgusting turnovers, and that was the difference in the game. But it also just maybe they're one of those teams that's just what they're going to be. And as good as they could be, they're not going to be because they've got a bozo quarterback.
Well, on the Jets side, looks like they found Breece Hall again, which I think is going to be important.
And Braylon Allen, they found another run. They got a good running game there. Vikings get a win over the 49ers. 2-0 Vikings now, knocked off the 49ers 23-17.
Do you think 49er fan is feeling like Cowboy fan today?
No.
Okay.
No, I don't, because they weren't like physically assaulted.
Yeah, but they didn't lose to a team of the same quality of the Saints, I think.
What?
I think the Saints are going to turn out to be a 10-12 team, 10-12 game.
I think the Vikings are better than the Saints, and also the Vikings beat them in Minnesota. The Cowboys got their ass beat in their own house.
Oh, I'm just saying I think the Saints are going to turn out to be a far better team, and Minnesota is probably more likely to deficit later on.
I don't think so. I think Minnesota's pretty good.
I think what Jefferson got hurt. I think they're going to have to keep him healthy. Darnold eventually will regress a bit to the mean, I think. I haven't seen enough of him to make a more than a snap judgment, but I just felt like what I saw from the Saints told me they're a much better team than the Vikings with Sam Darnold. I could be wrong, but if I'm San Francisco, I'm flying away thinking,
No, I feel I like the Vikings a lot more than I like the Saints.
And again, no McCaffrey, so there is a built-in kind of excuse there.
Although Jordan Mason, 20 carries, 100 yards again, and a touchdown. Seahawks needed overtime to beat the Patriots 23-20.
What about the Patriots?
Maybe the Patriots don't suck as much as I thought.
Maybe the Patriots we got to give some love.
Maybe. And the Commanders get a 21-18 win over the Giants. Last-second field goal.
No touchdowns, though.
No. Dreadful, disgusting game. The Chargers mollywop the Panthers. This was the other one. I was like, I know I should be betting the Panthers here, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm glad I didn't. Ass-whooping by the Chargers. The Rams, boy, the Rams' injuries have caught up with them. They are just not the same team. The Cardinals drub the Rams. I don't think Kyler Murray had ever beaten the Rams since he'd been there, and they beat them 41-10 yesterday.
At what point he had a perfect QBR?
Yeah, Kyler looked really good yesterday. So did Marvin Harrison after a really disappointing week 1.
Yeah.
And then the Steelers get a 13-6 win over the Broncos in another disgusting, ugly game.
They're 2-0. The Steelers are 2-0.
And everybody's like, well, I don't know how he never loses.
Oh, man.
And Mike Tomlin's, Justin Fields probably has a quarterback job. He sucks, but he's probably going to be the starter going forward.
Is Tomlin the only coach in the NFL that legit, I'm just coaching to win today? I don't care how we win it. I don't care what we do. I'm going to get the W. It'll be ugly, and we'll figure it out again next week.
And the Chiefs, along with the referees, get a 26-25 win over the Bengals.
So, Bengal fan, Bengal team. Where are you on the Bengals now?
The Bengals are 1-9 in weeks 1 and 2 in their last 5 seasons.
Coach was like, sadly, we've been here before.
Yeah, they just suck to start. And I thought maybe it'd be different this year with Burrow actually, being in camp and being healthy. But their receivers have been a mess. Jamar Chase is getting dumb penalties called on him. It's just
at what point do you become who you are? Do we give them 3 weeks, or do we give teams 3 or 4 weeks before we go, okay, I know who you are, and this is what you're going to be?
I think
minus a tragedy.
If you're the Bengals and you've got a history of this, and you've also proven that at every year you're in the AFC Championship game pretty much.
And I think
you get the benefit of the doubt for me. And I'll wait a little while.
And Kansas City, seriously, they're like an NBA team. Kansas City, I don't care what they're, let's just get to the playoffs. Let's fast forward, get to the playoffs, whether we're on the road, at home, we don't care. We just need to be there.
Well, we'll talk about this game a little more next in our next segment called Losers. Rob and I pick our 5 biggest losers of the weekend. We'll talk about that next. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or hill-electric.com.
Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Book your tee time now to experience the all-new Olympia Hills. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that has been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Rediscover one of the premier golf courses in the greater San Antonio area, complete with a top-tier golf practice facility, a full-length driving range, and a 10,000 square foot short game area. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com. That's OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
We love high school football and a team you can always count on. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC. Quartermoon is here to tackle the toughest challenges, from plumbing mishaps to AC troubles, with the same dedication and passion that drives a winning touchdown. Our playbook is simple: fair prices, expert service, and a commitment to local families. Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, your winning solution for a comfortable home. Proudly serving our community with local hospitality. From the penthouse to the outhouse to the schoolhouse, call Quartermoon Plumbing, Heat, and AC.
License number TACLA 88589E and 16004.
At Progressive, we know there's a lot of things you can track. Steps, calories, heart rate, your pet steps, screen time, the whereabouts of your favorite celebrity, how long you slept, how long you didn't sleep, how long you thought about sleeping, how long you thought about sleeping. But none of these things could save you money, unlike Snapshot from Progressive, which customizes your rate based on how and how much you drive. It's much better for your bottom line than tracking your Cocker Spaniel's resting heart rate. So download the Progressive app today.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
The new Boost Mobile network is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for life.
That sounds like a threat.
Then how do you think we should say it?
Unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month for the rest of your life?
I don't know.
Until your ultimate demise.
What if we just say forever?
Okay.
$25 a month, forever.
Get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile forever.
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature-Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature-Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature-Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching
Does this have peanuts?
to waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
When I wake up
The best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started. Good mornings make for better days. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes it easy to save money. When you bundle your auto policy with home, condo, or renters, you'll earn a multi-policy discount. Easy to bundle, easy to save. Visit Progressive.com. That's Progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working an accident on 1604 westbound Boulevardy Road, left lane. Delay start at Lookout, about 5-7 minutes. I-10 westbound at Crossroads, that's a stall now off to the shoulder. On 90 eastbound, 211 over to Hunt Lane, that's a 10-minute commute. Should take you about 15 minutes along 1604 northbound Calabria on up to I-10 Vance Jackson. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com. It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, it's the Morning Huddle. There's our
There he is.
There he is. Racing in. We even had a promo, but sometimes, you you can't play Inagata DeVita. You can't play Aqualung like you could in the FM days. Just long enough for a good poop.
It's kind of a bummer.
This is the reason that Aqualung song was ever even played. So FM jocks could hit the can.
I'm not used to eating breakfast.
Oh yes, we had some welcome back to San Antonio tacos. I was running low after a week in Vegas.
And
by the way, every Mexican national out of Mexico was in Las Vegas.
Oh, yeah. Las Vegas was Little Mexico this weekend.
The DF was empty. There was nobody in Mexico City. Everybody was in Vegas. Everybody.
Dia de la Independencia. That's as Jim Lampley likes to call it. Dia de la Independencia. We just call it Dia 16 around these parts, friends. All right, Rob. We gotta get with the suits and see if we can get a losers.
What would be an appropriate bed? And obviously, loser baby, but nah, we need something that would be.
I don't know.
Because sometimes when you win, you really lose.
That's true.
Sometimes when you lose, you really win.
You have your 5. You have your top 5.
I have my top 5. It's hard for me to put them in order.
That's always tough for me too.
Because some are bigger losers than others.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna come. I'll stay at 5 because this is some are bigger losers than others. And the first one is Quinn Ewers.
Oh,
the poor bastard lost the Heisman over the weekend.
He probably did.
He front runner, driving a Ferrari. He's driving it well, and a non-contact.
I think literally and figuratively driving a Ferrari.
Yeah, I think he's driving a McLaren. To be honest with you,
okay.
That little hitch. He's gone. Arch steps in, and there's no drop off. There's none.
Yeah.
You can, and it's still great. I'm not taking away from Ewers from what he's done, but if your backup is as good as you don't get to win the Heisman.
I can. So it sucks because you're right. You can still win and be a loser, and that's the first thing I said when we started talking about that game was he probably lost any shot to win the Heisman.
Yeah, it's too bad.
And now he's gonna have to miss a game, and that last game and this game. Were both stat padding games. And so he's going to miss a game and a half of stat padding.
And meanwhile, Jackson Dart is
going to stat pad.
Tennessee quarterback is dark horse now. Cam still throwing. Nico, whatever.
Iamaleava.
There it is.
Oh, I told you I was going to get it.
You got it.
Iamaleava.
So, yeah, my first out of there. And while he had no losers, but this was a tough one. He's going to have something spectacular in a big game to get himself back as a front runner.
My number 5 is the NFL refs. And you know what? Maybe it's sour grapes by me, but I am so sick and tired of giving the Chiefs the trophy. Like, a 4th down, you're giving a gift PI call to make sure Mahomes has a chance to go win the game.
For the first time. Now, most of the time in the past, this has happened 3 or 4 times with them, most of the time with Cincinnati involved. I could kind of see it. This one just felt like, are you kidding me? You're going to throw the flag on that?
Yeah.
Really? I mean, yeah, in a vacuum, maybe. But down distance time, give Cincinnati a little bit of something. They earned that.
They outplayed the Chiefs the entire game.
You can't play 11 on 16 or however many zebras are running around.
And I'm telling you, I don't think I'm the only one. I think a lot of people, a lot of football fans are really we get it. The Chiefs are good. Patrick Mahomes is good. Travis Kelce's good.
Taylor Swift's happy.
Yeah, his girlfriend's famous.
Yeah, it's getting a little old.
But let's if they beat you, okay, they beat you. But they don't need your help. They don't need your help, NFL. So that's my number 5 loser. Where are you going for number 4?
I'm still sticking with sometimes you win and you actually lose. Asia Wilson.
Oh.
Asia Wilson right now.
She held up the 1,000.
Is the first WNBA player with 1,000-point season. First in history. She is Shaq right now, dominating this league. She gets 1,000. Headline is Caitlin scores 30.
Caitlin she adds to her rookie assist record.
So, yes, I'm glad. Caitlin, yes, she did it. But Asia is the best woman in the world. I mean, there ain't nobody even close to what she's doing right now. And she's underneath the fold.
You think it's because
B block.
You think it's a white-black thing?
No, I think
Come on, Rob. Take the bait.
I think it's a relative kind of big post in women's basketball is just not a glory position, but she's dominating right now.
My number 4 is Billy Napier. We talked about him a little bit earlier. I think Billy Napier is, if he's not done yet, he ain't going to last the season because there's going to be some teams that have a chance to stick it to old Billy Napes, and they're going to do it. Namely, Tennessee in 2 weeks, I think is going to absolutely dog walk Billy right out of a job. So it was a good win for the Aggies. Had they lost that game, it would have been an absolute travesty because that's how bad I think Billy is. And Billy Ball in the state of Florida is coming to an end pretty soon. Where you go with number 3?
I'm gonna save him because he certainly has his place. I want to be nice to Dan Campbell, but he's got to be there.
Okay.
And when you lose a game for your team, and he did, get your field goal team out there. Get what the 10-second runoff. What a way to lose a game. Yeah, you're not a loser, but you lost that one, Dan. That's all on you. Yeah, every bit of it.
My number 3 is Sean O'Malley.
Woo!
The dude that was posting videos of like he had like a stuffed doll of Marab like trying to take him down in camp, and he was just like shoving him away, and he's like, this is how I'm training to fight this guy. And then Marab just basically car washed him, just drug him down, rinsed and repeat, baby.
Just rolled around and just held him.
Oh man. And now at the end of round 2, after a whole round of big brothering him, he had him in a headlock while like O'Malley was sitting against the cage, and Marab leans over and gives him about 4 kisses on his shoulder while they're in the middle of a fight. And he's talking to him and kissing him on the shoulder, and then he pats him on the head as he walks away. And there's still 3 seconds left in the round, so O'Malley jumps up and punches him in the back of the head. But he didn't do anything. I think I gave O'Malley the last round where after Marab had already solidly won the fight and was just playing safe. But for a guy who sold like he was going to be, have no problems with this guy, he got absolutely worked in a huge fight where everybody was watching. So he's my number 3 loser. Who's your number 2, Rob?
Big school in Florida. I'd like to keep Florida on their own, but they deserve to sit with Florida State in this one. All the big Miami, yeah, down south.
Miami's pretty good.
That's 62 points, and they're still rolling. But the big schools in Florida, oh my God! Think about the hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars that have been spent on both the Florida and the Florida State football program, both in-house, NIL, sponsorships, everything that goes into this. No wins. Florida State loses to Memphis. Florida hosts A&M and gets waxed. Hundreds of millions of dollars just thrown down the toilet, just set ablaze, just useless. You got nothing to show for all this. Big school in Florida, man. I would hate to be an alumni association today.
My number 2 is Mike Zimmer, because it probably could be, you could pick random name off the Cowboys, but I'm going to go with Zimmer just because I felt like his guys got punked out and got pushed around, and they made this team full of, I guess, scrappy Saints offensive players look like they were, some sort of juggernaut offense. That's still Derek Carr, who the Saints didn't want. That's still Alvin Kamara, who, we didn't even think could play in the league anymore. And they did whatever they wanted to this Cowboys defense, absolutely bullied them. And a week after I gave Mike Zimmer all the flowers, I'm certainly going to call him a loser when he puts on a show like that. So, all right, Rob, it's time. Who's your champion? Who's your number 1 loser this weekend?
In organizations, when you go, that it's their fault. Well, there is the decider, as George W. told us. I'm the decider. You blaming Zimmer, that's fine. I'm blaming McCarthy.
Okay.
You're a front-running coach. You are a hell of a coach when you're up by 3 or more. You're a hell of a coach. But when your teams get down, your teams fold. They do not, cannot, will not, whatever it is, turn things around in game. At some point, McCarthy, you're going to have to turn the page or the page will be turned for you. And I'll tell you what, he gets one more chance. Jerry, you get 1 strike on this one. Ain't 3 strikes and you're out on this one. Another game like this where you show up ill-prepared, you're not going to make it through the season. If this happens before bye week, you're going to get fired. You're going to get fired because when your players come out and say, it wasn't the coaches, it was us. That's worst case scenario. That's worse. It wasn't the coaches, it was us. Well, wait a minute. What do you mean it was you? I don't think we realize the situation McCarthy finds himself. He's all but done. You again, you host a home game and get pantsed. 92 points in 2 consecutive home games. Jerry doesn't cotton to that, man. He's in trouble.
My champion is even from, I thought there's one organization who had a worse weekend than the Cowboys, and I think it's Dave Canales in Carolina, only because of this. he realizes now. I think if he doesn't realize now, he's going to learn soon. He signed on to a team that is fully invested in a quarterback who cannot play quarterback in the NFL. Bryce Young is not going to be fixed. So he's my ultimate loser for week 2. All right. Hour 3 coming up. Morning Huddle.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is all cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Hey, football fans, Michael Vick here. They say I transformed the quarterback position. The fastest ever, the strongest arm, the most rushing yards. They call me a game changer. I say BetUS.com changed the sports betting game. It started 30 years ago with the industry's biggest bonuses, and they haven't stopped. This football season, get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Join me at BetUS Online Sportsbook and Casino, BetUS, where the game begins.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
At the Home Depot, we know Saturdays are for college football. That's why we have everything you need to never miss a play. Like Bear Dynasty interior paint, their most durable one-coat hide paint ever. From a team color statement wall to a fan cave, complete with a mural honoring Nick Saban's 17-year dynasty.
Hey, I like that idea.
Nothing beats Bear Dynasty interior paint. It's everything you need all in one can.
Defend your game time with Bear and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Valid only when tinted to colors from the Bear Dynasty and Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Color Collection.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
DQ presents the sound of BOGO-free Blizzard treats in the DQ app. It's the sound of downloading the DQ app, redeeming the sweetest BOGO-free Blizzard deal, telling all your friends, and heading to DQ. For BOGO-free any-size Blizzard treats only in the DQ app for a limited time. Download it today. At participating locations, limitations apply. DQ. Happy tastes good.
I don't like onions. I'm doing paleo. Do they have gluten-free bagels? You can't juggle every food request for a work event, or can you? EasyCater is the all-in-one tech platform that makes it easy to get restaurant catering for work, with options for any group size, taste, dietary preference, or budget. EasyCater saves your favorite restaurants and orders, which makes reordering a snap. Need to modify an order? No problem. So when it comes to food for work, make it easy on yourself with EasyCater. Start your order at easycater.com.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit JesseHernandezLaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or JesseHernandezLaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your car, home, motorcycle, commercial auto, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. We are working an accident on 1604 westbound Bulverde Road, left lane. Delay start at Lookout, about 5-7 minutes. I-10 westbound at Crossroads, that's a stall now off to the shoulder. On 90 eastbound, 211 over to Hunt Lane, that's a 10-minute commute. Should take you about 15 minutes along 1604 northbound Calabria on up to I-10 Vance Jackson. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA, Time Saver Traffic.
San Antonio Sports Center.
The Dallas Cowboys are now 1-1 after dropping their home opener to the New Orleans Saints 44-19. The Houston Texans improved to 2-0 as they beat the Chicago Bears 19-13 last night on Sunday Night Football. Your Texas Longhorns are now number 1 in the AP poll, vaulting over Georgia after the 56-7 win over UTSA. The Texas A&M Aggies are now 25th after they beat Florida 33-20 in their SEC opener. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle. I'm not going to waste any time. We got him on the line. Coach of the UTSA Roadrunners, Coach Jeff Traylor, joins us here on the Little Morning Huddle. Coach, how are you today?
Doing great. How are y'all?
Not too shabby. What's the mental state for your guys like? You guys haven't been beaten like this very often, but now back-to-back weeks. How are you keeping your guys' heads up right now, and how are you keeping your own head up, I guess? You're not used to it either.
Oh, well, it's part of the game. You're in it long enough, it happens to you. There are just a lot of indications that we're still going to be fine just because of the morale of the troops, and it has a lot to do with any kind of battle you're in. It's the morale of the people. And our players, they've been here, some of them for a long, long time, and we got a lot of new guys up there as well. So I'm sure the new guys have more doubt than the older guys. The older guys have literally been through this. In our 5 seasons here, we've had one great start. And the other 4 have been literally just each week. You got to keep getting a little bit better. And by the end of the year, we'll have a really good football team again. And our guys haven't lost confidence in that yet in spite of the last 2 weeks.
You say in spite of the last 2 weeks. Coach, I think it was a reflection on the respect your program has built over the country that Texas did jump to number 1, because I do think that there's a lot of folks that understand what your roster's going through right now. But now you put that to bed. You can look forward for the next couple of weeks and play those teams that really matter to you. Does that help when you wake up in the morning and you look at your schedule and you got HCA coming and the teams that you're ready to play against? Does it feel like the first half of the season's done and now we can get to the real business at hand?
Not yet, because we're just not. We haven't fixed ourselves enough yet. We've taken real steps. We're getting closer. But you'd like for Houston Christian to have not scored 70 last week. I mean, they're going to be pretty confident coming in here. And then East Carolina, to play up there, there's not a worse place to start conference playoff other than maybe one or two other schools in our conference than East Carolina. They're a proud program. They'll have 50,000th a game. They're the number one defense in our league last year. I know they didn't have a great year, but they're really hard to score on. Just a proud program. So we got a team coming in here that scored 70 last week, and then we open up in one of the toughest places to play in the country. If you have never been to East Carolina and watched the ball game, it's a great experience.
Coach, how do you readjust your goals, expectations for your team? Because I know I think UTSA was top 5 in the odds to make the playoff out of the G5. And, with 2 losses, that's going to be obviously very difficult now. How do you adjust the expectations within your locker room? Like, hey, we still have a conference title to play for. We still have a lot we can accomplish here. Is that a difficult thing after a couple tough losses?
Well, I can give you a bunch of coach talk, or I can give you real talk. I mean, when you start this season off and you have to play one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the country, I mean, your odds of beating them are not real good, man. And they don't come to your place. You got to go to their place. Does it happen today? Notre Dame was upset, but how good are they compared to the University of Texas? I mean, so to think that we had a realistic chance to pull that off, it sounded great for a bunch of articles, but was it really a real shot? I mean, you can debate that all day long. My kids are not stupid. They understand the real deal. And a conference play, a chance to win another championship, bowl games where the schedule we had in front of us was what was a realistic goal. Now, right, we want to make the playoffs like everybody does, but there's going to be one team out of G5 that goes to the playoffs, and they're going to have to be undefeated, and there might be a couple of those guys undefeated. And you got Memphis rolling out there. You got UNLV rolling out there. There's another one out there. I mean, it's going to be – we didn't get the team to beat on that Power 4 schedule. The University of Texas is a bad draw to try to go undefeated, and then that's just the way the chips fell for us. And we didn't play well to win. I'm not even saying that. But if you're being realistic when the season started, I mean, come on.
Yes, it makes sense. So when it is this situation and you're going into this, what's and I hate to use the term because there's no such thing, but what's the moral victory that you pull out of something like that? What did you learn from this that you can take into next week?
Well, we punted the ball a ton better. Now, unfortunately, we're getting a lot of practice at that right now.
Yeah.
But we had not punted well the first 2 weeks. And that was, we had a freshman punter. So it's good that he's getting better. He's had to kick in some tough environments. Wind at Texas State with the packed crowd, and then at Texas where it's, there's 100,000 people there. So that was a good sign. Defensively, I thought up front we were very heavy-handed. That we were physical as heck. Ligon had a great bounce-back game. French had a great bounce-back game. Simon Cyrus had a great bounce-back game. We caused 2 turnovers. A pick by Pee Wee was huge. The caused fumble by Christian Clayton. Recovered fumble by Brevin. There was just a lot of we ran the ball away, but now we had the negative plays. But on just where we handed the ball off and rushed the ball correctly, we had 29 attempts for 170 yards. Now we had 40 yards on negative plays where we snapped the ball because we thought the snap camp, it was so loud there, or gave up a sack. So the stats might not look at but we got our right tackle back, Mekhi Hart, who played really well. That was a huge get back for us. We're getting better. I know it doesn't look like it. Our quarterback play was way better. I mean, he looked like a sophomore quarterback that was making his second start on the road.
I agree.
Instead of his first start on the road. He was just so much more calm. So there's a lot of positive signs in spite of getting your tail kicked.
You had a guy in Robert Henry who ran the ball really well. We going to see him get more touches as this season goes on? I mean, obviously he had the big touchdown run. Is he a guy you're going to maybe give a couple more looks after that game?
Y'all think I just pulled him to save him? I understand the question. Very fair question. We thought he broke his thumb on the run, and we took him in, and the X-rays were kind of inconclusive, so I wasn't going to risk it.
No,
so I took him out. the good news is Sunday the X-rays were all clear. He's good to go, so he'll be back and rolling. But that was a great point. And he got ran down by Kennesaw,
yeah.
Yeah, I used to play Kennesaw back in the day. They were a good team too. But when Robert Henry got loose this time against the University of Texas, he didn't get caught. So there's a lot of positive things there. Our lack of execution on 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1, their big third-round defensive tackle. I mean, the triple team. We had a triple team on him, and he just split all three of us and nailed us in the backfield twice. Those were so disheartening. But we're committed to run the football. We'll get better at it, and we'll get it cleaned up.
What is HCU doing to score 70 a game?
Well, they haven't scored 70 a game. They scored 70 in the last game.
Well, how they
really,
do
really
that?
Fast. They play really fast. They're spread out. It's the typical modern spread. Hurry up, snap it as fast as possible. South Florida, East Carolina's doing it now. Just the teams that really the way to watch it, if you want to know how fast people snap it, when the official spots the ball and he's backing out, if he just barely passes that quarterback and they're already snapping it, they're going extremely, extremely fast. It's just kind of a good indicator to see how fast people actually snap the ball, and they snap it that fast.
Coach, you got a firsthand look at Arch Manning. You tell me, is the hype real with that kid? What is he doing that's special? Because I didn't realize he was as much of an athlete as he looked like out there on Saturday. Is he as impressive as Quinn, or as impressive as you thought he would be?
You got to remember, my son coaches for the Saints, and he's been there 6 years. So I go down there to see Jordan all the time, and so I'm saying that because of the New Orleans relationship there. Yeah, the kid's been that real forever. Did I know he was that fast, that he was going to outrun my whole defense? I did not know that. I knew he was a great athlete, but that's pretty remarkable, somebody that big of a human that throws the ball that well. The shake he put on Elliott. Elliott's a good football player. Elliott's not a bad football player. Now, I know he looked bad on that one play, but then he outran our defense after that. Very impressed. And a great human being, great family, and much respect for that.
Coach, how important is it for you to make a statement this weekend going into conference play, getting your guys' mind right for the conference schedule?
Yeah, it's really important. I really believe that. It's not only do we need to win the game, we need to play well. I mean, and there are times you win, you don't play well. Our opening game, we played well for about a quarter and a half, and that was it. And that we didn't have a good taste in our mouth. And again, I've already mentioned it once, but it's worth repeating. The East Carolina is just so tough to beat on the road. We're going to need all the confidence we can get to go in that place and still win.
Anybody we need to worry about for next week other than running back?
Talking about as far as injuries?
Injuries, yes, sir.
No, we're in pretty good shape. That's a blessing. Not having Ken Robinson in the game, he got hurt in practice this week. He's my safety number 4. He's been starting back there forever, man. I don't know if y'all noticed how many busts we had back there in the back. We had quite a few. A lot of that was not having Ken back there to communicate on the road. And we need to get Ken back. I don't know when that's going to happen. Obviously the receiver, J.T. Clark, not having him was a huge loss. We thought we'd be starting to get him back right now. We're hopeful. He is practicing. We're hopeful he'll be back at some point. Other than that, we came out pretty healthy. Getting Mekhi Hart back at offensive tackle was a big get for us. And then we got to play some at left guard. We got to just keep getting those guys better. And I think we'll be good to go Saturday.
That is Jeff Traylor, head coach of the UTSA Roadrunners. Coach, appreciate the time. Best of luck this weekend against Houston Christian. Hopefully, when we talk to you next Monday, it's with happier times than it's been the last couple of weeks. But it looks like you got your team going in the right direction. Good luck to you, Coach.
Well, sorry we're off to another famous rough start for the Roadrunners, but we'll try to close this thing out for you guys. God bless. Birds up.
There we go. That's Coach Jeff Traylor.
Coach is building drama as he always does.
That's all he does, man.
It's like a handicap. We're spotting a couple of games. We're going to see what we can do against the deadline.
Yeah.
The fact is, getting over this Texas hump, that's been weighing on the back of their minds forever. You can't not think about Texas no matter what. Now they can go to the business at hand and play teams that they can do what they want to do. I'm looking forward to the next couple of games.
And I guarantee you, now, like the scoreboard might have said it wasn't this was worse than the Texas State game. I guarantee you Coach Traylor was more pissed after that Texas State game than this one, because this wasn't the Texas State game was more of like you're not at an athletic deficit. If anything, you probably have an athletic advantage over those kids.
They ran into a buzzsaw. They weren't ready for what they got.
This Texas team, most of these guys are going to be playing in the NFL. And Coach was right. His kids aren't dumb. They're know.
Realists, yeah.
They're all. I'm sure they all say, "Man, we should have been recruited to Texas," but they probably in the back of their heads kind of know. Now, especially, they know. Well, that's why I wasn't recruited to play at Texas, because that guy that's playing my position.
You mean that third stringer?
Yeah.
The second stringer that's still whooping my ass.
That guy's going to be playing in the league. But, no, I'm with him, man. I think that there's still a lot of meat on this bone for the season. It's not like it's all hope is lost. All hope is lost as far as, the playoff goes. But the American is still a very winnable goal for them. Memphis looks good.
And they get a chance to play them.
They get them here.
Yeah.
They have them in the Alamo Dome. North Texas looks pretty good. They're going to have them in the Alamo Dome. You do have to go to East Carolina. You're going to have to go to Army at the end of the year. There's some tough ones. But I think they're as capable as anybody of figuring it out and getting this thing on the right track. Because you also, let's face it, in the American, you also have some, I don't want to say free squares, but
there's some free squares.
You get to play Temple and Florida Atlantic too.
You get a couple of those. I'll say it again. I firmly believe Texas is number one today. Not because of just the win, and it certainly helped, and not just because of Georgia and Kentucky, but because I think the voters give a lot more respect to UTSA than they would, say, if they had waxed Kent State or something like that.
You're probably right.
I think that Traylor and his roster and his squad has garnered enough reputation to benefit Texas.
All right, let's hit it. When we come back, we'll talk some non-sport stuff. I'll see if I can get some of you guys worked up about what I'm talking about. Change the subject.
Let's talk about cats.
You big babies. Yeah. It's the Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. Get your slot now. $120 per person or $400 per foursome. The Fall Golf Classic, benefiting San Antonio sports, is presented by the Law Office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chungla. Sponsored in part by Jim Beam, PPL Motorhomes, Flight by Yingling, Tomalitos Mexican Restaurant. The Fall Golf Classic, happening Monday, September 30th. Sign up now at sasportstar.com.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Lowe's knows to start fall projects, you need reliable outdoor power equipment from Ego. Right now, get your choice of a select 56-volt blower or chainsaw for $249. The 56-volt technology powers over 80 tools, so you can switch from blowing leaves to cutting trees with ease. Save time and money with Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Valid through 10/2 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. Item number 5207558 and item number 4354078.
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, America's #1 daily fantasy sports app. I'm one of 5 million active members. I play every day because you know why? It's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports because I get to use my knowledge and apply it to win some serious money. And as a player, they invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if your pick don't hit. You can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with just as simple 4 correct picks. It is that easy to play. You can have fun. It's simple. It's a great playing experience, and you can use your knowledge. How well is Tyreek Hill going to do this week? How is Dak Prescott going to play? If you know, you go play. It's Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today and use the code Alamo and get $50 instantly when you play. That's code Alamo on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly when you play just 5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Flight by Yingling is the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Cowboys fans, want to kick off tailgate season with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders, Rowdy, and a Dallas Cowboys legend? Stop by the HEB, located in the Brooks Corner Shopping Center at 3323 Southeast Military Drive in San Antonio from 9 a.m. to noon on Saturday, September 28th. You'll even have a chance to enter to win tickets to an upcoming Dallas Cowboys home game, as well as tour the Hall of Fame bus and more. Don't miss out as we roll into town for the Dallas Cowboys tailgate tour presented by HEB.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When something happens to your kitchen, you might say,
"This is ludicrous."
but that won't fix your home. That will only get you the rapper, Ludacris.
Having trouble? Don't panic. Don't be alarmed. You need to file a claim? Holla at State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
That's right. You can file a claim on the app or call us.
Thanks, Mr. Chris.
No matter how ludicrous the situation, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
State Farm, Bloomington, Illinois.
Imagine your team always looking and feeling their best in high-performance technical workwear. Cintas can make it happen. They have garments for almost every job imaginable. And with the Cintas Workwear program, you get freshly laundered garments delivered every week for everyone on your team. Great garments without the bother of laundry. That's a real perk for employees. Find out how Cintas can boost team image and morale. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. The Aggies take on the Bowling Green Falcons, presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Alrighty. A lot of football today. I mean,
Mondays in September.
It's going to be that way. I love it. I'm so happy that football's back.
We got a good game tonight. Interesting. Kind of like a mid-season bowl game. Eagles, Falcons, they don't play each other very often. We don't really have a history.
Yeah.
Got a new thing with it. It's going to be a fun game tonight.
Yeah, I mean, if Atlanta picks it up, I think you're right. But
on the track, what do you think so far? 2 weeks of football.
Yep.
Anything jumping out at you at the NFL that, didn't expect, did expect?
I think that some of these mid-level quarterbacks who are playing on teams that have good rosters are having success, and it makes me wonder if it's smart to pay guys like Dak Prescott. When I see Sam Darnold playing the way he's playing, and I see Baker Mayfield playing the way he's playing, I go, really? And then I look at what Dak's done so far, what Trevor Lawrence has done so far, what Joe Burrow's done so far, and I'm like, I mean, I could get that for cheaper.
It's interesting. Watching the games yesterday, low scoring.
Yeah,
a lot of low scoring. I don't know what's behind that. The running game is dominant. Teams that are winning are running the ball. They're, 100-yard games by more backs than I can remember. Most of your winning quarterbacks are throwing the ball under 20 times a game.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a trend. I think you're probably more correct in that teams just don't do anything in the preseason. They just don't, and it's all rookies getting all the work, and it's 3 weeks before teams really find their footing. And I think we saw some teams slip up, Cowboys included. We watched what happened to the Rams. I still think there's some – Rams are hurt, though. I'll give them a pass. But I still think that they're still becoming who they're going to be because there was no preseason. But running game seems to have really kind of taken over, and the constant search for an offensive plan that protects you from an average quarterback, that you won't have an average quarterback beat you or lose the game for you. And we're seeing that in Minnesota. I mean, we're just take your average quarterback, put him in good situations, don't let him do anything stupid, and you get a win. Malik Willis in Green Bay, we're not going to do anything stupid. We're going to run. We're going to use your talents and go do it. And all these big-time wide receivers, there's just not a lot of balls going downfield.
Yep. So we'll see how the season goes on if some of these guys who didn't get any preseason time start to ramp up.
Like Marvin Harrison took a week off this week. One more week in the program.
Rob, Air Force recruiting is up.
Good for them. It's the place to go. It's the country club of all your services.
It had been weighed down, but listen, they're trying to hit goals, and they came up well short of their goals a year ago. They had a 10% shortfall in new active duty enlistments.
Interesting,
but they've made two moves that have really pumped up the recruiting. One is they changed the maximum age from 39 to 42.
I can enlist at 42?
42.
Wow. Do they have like a senior basic training where
nope,
we don't have to go out?
Oh, yeah. Do you have a push-up?
Yeah, like
push-ups? I was 17 in basic training. The guy in the bunk next to me, he was from Guam, and he was 39. He had kids older than me, and we were in the same basic training unit. It was crazy.
He made it?
Yeah, he made it, yeah.
So
I don't know.
42.
Now 42 you can make.
It's funny. Normally, when the economy is bad, enlistment is up. Normally, when the economy tanks, people can't find jobs, they're not comfortable. They just... best out. I'm going to go join the military, and they'll take care of me for a while, and I'll be protected from that kind of stuff. And it's funny that hadn't worked through.
They also added 3,000 active duty recruits and 5,600 if you count the Reserve and Air National Guard by raising the body fat restriction threshold. So used to, for men, you had to be 20% body fat. Now 26 is good enough.
They just have to start ordering some extra large uniforms.
Women have gone from 28% to 36%, and suddenly it's like recruiting's way easier, man.
What about felonies?
So we're now taking old fat guys? Is that
old fat guys now welcome? No big deal, guys. No big deal.
42 in basic training.
42. As long as you start before your 42nd birthday, you're good to go.
Man, at least your most recent decision was probably the best one, but I want to know the series of decisions that got you to the point where you're a 42-year-old basic
All right,
trainee.
I'll go.
You got to get sentenced to that.
Gina Mason, who's 68, was flying home from Baltimore to Detroit when the captain came over the PA system and said, hey, make sure you take your seats. Looks like things are getting a little bumpy. Well, as they were getting a little bit bumpy, a scalding pot of coffee fell off the serving cart and into her lap. They were in the middle of distributing beverages and snacks when turbulence began, and the shaking knocked the hot coffee pot onto her. She had first and second degree burns on her legs, thighs, and genitals.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I know that's terrible, right? Yeah, but listen, lady, you're 70 years old. You're not using those genitals anymore. Just move on. Yeah, just say you're like, it burned your legs. Nobody wants to think about your old, dusty old parts. It's gross.
A McDonald's case was settled for like $2.7
Oh, I remember.
million.
That's like and now people are like, oh, yeah, go ahead and just hand me that coffee, and then like sticking their junk up in the air hoping they drop the coffee on you.
That's been kind of an urban Mitchell. It was less than that, but there's some money there.
Oh, yeah. I wish somebody poured some coffee on my junk.
As a flight attendant, that you're actually holding a deadly weapon in a coffee cup.
That's right.
A coffee thing that could actually have you sued.
Another airline story, a Bay Area man facing 20 years in prison if he's convicted of interference with flight crew members following a flight to San Francisco on Monday when he allegedly tampered with the crew's overhead oxygen mask compartment and then assaulted the flight crew. He's a 30-year-old. He's from Fremont, California. He was on a Frontier flight from John Wayne Airport in Orange County to San Francisco. Flight attendants noticed suspicious behavior from a passenger shortly after takeoff. While they were ascending over the Pacific Ocean, they noticed that their oxygen masks in the row of the aircraft had come out of the overhead compartment. And they investigated and saw a man tampering with them. They said the passenger appeared claustrophobic, and officials said he began yelling obscenities at flight attendants, claiming, "We are all going to hell. This airplane is going down,"
That's the one with the guy
before allegedly attempting to choke a flight attendant before he was ultimately restrained by a seatbelt with help from other passengers. Then he kicked a flight attendant several times in the leg, which caused bruising and swelling. Listen, I know San Francisco's a bad place, but you bought the ticket, bro. So if we're all going to hell, you chose.
Dude, I have an unblemished record, never dealt with anything like that on a flight. And I've flown enough times where I feel like it should have happened. You know, I've been on enough flights in my life where I should have seen something like this happen. So I feel like the longer it doesn't happen, when it finally does, it's literally going to happen right beside me, like the dude right next door to me.
I wish it would. I used to pray for someone to just act crazy on a flight, and like where we all get to, like, all the passengers have to team up and beat this guy's ass.
Like on airplane?
Yes.
Whack, next.
God, I wish that would happen to me. It never happens.
I don't want to deal with them. I don't want to have to touch some crazy dude.
No, I do.
I don't want.
I do.
Just the outside of my hand.
Finally, Russell Leoza has been arrested. He's got robbery, grand larceny auto, reckless endangerment, leaving the scene of an accident, and 11 counts of property damage in New York City, where he was getting towed. His truck was being towed away, and he came out to find it being towed. He didn't want it to be towed. And I don't know if this is true, but the wreckers will always say, once we got you on the hook, we can't let you off.
I think that's
I feel like they could if they wanted to.
There's some legal issues in there. It's kind of true.
Oh, okay. Well, what you're not supposed to do is steal the tow truck with your truck attached to it.
You shouldn't do that.
That's a crime. Even though they are kind of stealing your truck, so you think it's like, oh, tit for tat? No, you still go to jail, apparently, for that.
And deservedly so.
I guess. I don't know. I'm kind of...
My first job, 16 years old, I worked for a company that rented furniture, and I had to go repo it.
Oh.
You know, people are generally upset with you when you're taking their bed.
Yeah. And, like, at least when you're a car repo guy, you do it
in the dead of night.
Yeah, they don't see it. Like, you got to knock on the door.
With a Bexar County sheriff, if you're smart.
Oh.
Yeah, we're here to take your couch.
Damn. Yeah, we're going to need that kitchen table.
You talk about looking forward to the 5 o'clock, man. That's a rough day.
Oh. And, what do you do with a used bed?
Dude, we would at one place, the guy...
They're trashing them, aren't they?
No, one place we found a dead dude. He'd been dead.
What?
And he hadn't paid his bill. And the only reason that anybody found out he was dead is because we went to repo the furniture and we found him dead.
Was he on the furniture?
He was in the furniture.
How long did he?
It'd been a minute. It had been a minute. Yeah.
So did you still take the furniture?
Oh no. Well, we took the kitchen table. The couch was not usable. We left the couch for them. That was a little burial gift.
Be nice to bring it back to your boss. Be like, hey,
Here
boss.
I don't think this is going to wash out.
I don't know.
What is that?
Let's
That's Mr. Jenkins.
Let's get it over to detailing. See what we can do. Yeah, I don't know the dust vac is going to work on this thing.
No.
The dust buster. All right, when we come back, we'll do what we always do to close out the show. We'll take a look at the daily lines, look at that Monday Night Football game, and Rob, there's a race. It's a 2-horse race now for the 8th seed in Lady Basketball. We'll talk about that, too. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up Monday on The Blitz, man, what a weekend of football we've got to talk about. We'll react to the Cowboys. We'll react to the Texans. We'll react to the Longhorns.
Yeah, the Longhorns with the UTSA head coach Jeff Traylor. The Aggies, all the football talk. Monday on The Blitz, starting at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Olympia Hills has renovated all 18 greens to enhance your golfing experience. Book your tee time now to experience the all-new Olympia Hills. Come and enjoy the dramatic elevation changes and a layout that has been strategically designed for your enjoyment. Rediscover one of the premier golf courses in the greater San Antonio area, complete with a top-tier golf practice facility, a full-length driving range, and a 10,000 square foot short game area. Book your tee time now at OlympiaHillsGolf.com. That's OlympiaHillsGolf.com.
Sweet chocolate reward. Sweet chocolate reward.
This is not just the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat at Walgreens. This is the sound of someone picking up a sweet treat right after receiving all their vaccines in one trip. This is the sound of treating yourself, because you protected yourself.
Stop by or schedule both your flu and COVID-19 vaccines today and grab yourself a sweet treat while you're at it. Vaccine subject to availability. State, age, and health-related restrictions may apply.
Why'd the kid jump off the boat?
I don't know. Why?
Peer pressure.
Oh. Good one, Ned.
Ned isn't funny, but Ned owns a boat, and you don't. So every time Ned tells another one of his unfunny boat puns, you're going to laugh loud and keep on laughing until you get a boat of your own.
A pier where you put a boat.
Yeah, I get it.
And when you do get a boat of your own, make sure you save money by bundling it with your home, auto, or other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
Have you or a family member been arrested? The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla, can help regardless of the legal battle you are facing, personal injury or criminal defense. Attorney Jesse Hernandez and his team are ready to fight for you. Calls are answered 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Call 210-807-8656 or visit jessehernandezlaw.com. That's 210-807-8656 or jessehernandezlaw.com. The law office of Jesse Hernandez, the Texas Chancla.
Tommy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Looking for a career you'll love with flexibility, great pay, and benefits, and one of the country's top workplaces? Join their growing team. Go to progressive.com/careers and apply online today. That's progressive.com/careers.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star traffic from News Talk 550 KTSA.
Good morning. Heads up downtown. A new trouble spot on 35 upper level southbound at St. Mary's. That's an accident in the left lane. About a 10-minute delay. Stop and go from New Braunfels. On 1604 westbound Boulevardy Road, accident taking up the left lane. That's causing about a 5-6-minute delay. Stop and go from Green Mountain Road. On I-10 westbound at Crossroads, that's stalled. It's off to the shoulder. I'm Debbie Alcacer, KTSA. Time Saver Traffic.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you guys, come play golf with us. Golf match games. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Stars Fall Golf Classic is back. We're back.
Better than ever.
It's my first inaugural golf classic, but I'll be back for another one.
I think you're going to be right at home. Right at home.
We'll see if I make year 2, but I'll be here for year 1.
I challenge you to a Rumpelmintz shot and a drive, because that'll be available to you.
Challenge accepted.
Rumpelmintz and Coke.
Oh, my. That sounds disgusting.
Oh, it's the worst thing I've ever had. That's
they
why I
have
want you to
Coke
have
Zero?
It. Oh, of course. That only improves.
I don't want a bunch of sugar.
Only improves it. The aspartame is really the kicker.
That'll be Monday, September 30th. If you want to do a Rumpelmintz shot with Coke Zero with us, or Diet Coke if you're a serial killer, you can do that as well. It's Monday, September 30th at Olympia Hills Golf Club. 120 ahead, 400 for a foursome. And there's a hole-in-one contest. You could win $50,000 or a Mercedes-Benz. Oh, how great would that be?
The last time we were there, which would be a year ago, hole-in-one was close.
Oh, yeah?
Close, like within 2 or 3 feet.
If you made it, would you take the $50K or the Benz?
You got to pay tax on that Benz, but I'd like to see which Benz it was.
Yeah. When I was in that poker tournament, the first prize was $25K and an F-150, or $55K total.
That's a windfall at 60% or 40%.
Yeah, I said, dude, even you pay the hell out of some taxes. You can't buy a truck for $30K.
No,
you just can't. Like I'd take the truck and flip it if I didn't want it, but you got to take the car. Cars are too expensive now. Except not at Mercedes-Benz of Selma. That's where you get the best deals.
Best place to go.
Yeah. PPL Motorhomes, the Texas Chancla, Jesse Hernandez, Jim Beam, Flight by Yingling. They're all participating. They're all going to be there, baby. Sign up at sasportstar.com.
For those of you that have not seen
the Texas Chancla,
James Pledger hit a golf ball.
Oh, I've heard. He's very good. It pisses me off. I hate people.
He is our John Rahm. He is our live titleist.
I hate people who are good at golf.
He's our liver.
I don't get it. All right, I want to play a little. Oh, you know what? Go ahead and hit the music, Vic.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You covered, yeah!
That was one of my favorite pro wrestlers, Ravishing Rick Rude. You guys remember him?
Right?
Yeah, he died. But he used to come out and he'd say, "Cut the music." And he'd say, "All you fat, broke slobs, wish you could have a body like mine." And then he'd drag some gal out of the stands, say, "Get away from that loser, get up here with me." And he'd say, "Hit the music," and he'd take his robe off in front of her, and usually he'd end up making out with some dude's wife in the ring. Man. I was like, that guy's such a badass. He had
kind of horrifying.
He had a mullet and a standalone mustache. Dude, and that dude was just eating up your wife's face. The ravishing one. Let's play a little game, Rob.
Okay.
Most of these teams are 2 games in now, and I'm going to ask you what you think the odds are that they will make the playoffs at this point. The Kansas City Chiefs are 2-0. What are the odds? What do you have to lay to say, yes, the Chiefs will make the playoffs?
Oh, my gosh. To make any money, $250, $300.
If you bet $250, you could win $10.
Oh, see? I told you.
They are minus
you don't go
2,500.
broke, make it a profit.
Minus 2,500.
God. Okay, next.
How about this team? 2-0, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No way in hell.
No would be minus 140. Yes, plus 115.
Plus one. No, see, now we're talking. And that's just to make the playoffs?
Just make the playoffs.
Now, there might be some value there.
Yeah. I mean, 7 out of 15 make it. You got a shot.
The rivals are 0-2.
Detroit Lions. 1-1, Detroit Lions.
Oh, probably $200, $250 to get any money out of this at all.
Yes is minus 200. Yeah. How about the Buffalo Bills? 2-0 Buffalo Bills.
I like the yes at 200 as well. I think they're right there.
Minus 370.
Oh, wow.
Got to pay a little tax on Buffalo.
Yeah, I guess
People
they're
are excited about that.
Yeah, they're better than that. I think.
I mean, the Lions are 1-1.
Right now, he's MVP.
Josh Allen?
Yeah, right now you got the MVP on the team, so yeah.
How about the Carolina Panthers? 0-2. What if they turn it around and make the playoffs? What do you think?
$10 pays well.
How about 70-1?
There we go.
$10 would make you $700.
There we go. I'm going to lose $10.
Now, if you want to say no, they won't make it. If you bet $200, you'll win $1.
So, there's those guys that when they see the lottery that reaches, whatever amount, they know if we buy X amount of tickets, we will get the money back.
Oh, yeah.
Plus. Yeah. So if I've seen enough of Carolina to know there's no way in
There's
hell.
no
it's
return
just
on
not going to
this.
happen. What if I went to a book and dropped $1 million? Would they take the bet?
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think it is physically possible to make any money on that because no one would take the money that would be involved.
It would take too much.
Yeah.
How about the 0-2 Cincinnati Bengals?
I don't think it's not as good as I would have given them, but they're 175.
Yes, minus 145.
145.
Little value there. How about those New Orleans Saints you were so impressed with?
Up. Right now, considering their division, shoot, I'd put them not quite Kansas City-esque, but with a bullet headed that way. 250
minus 200, same
200?
exact odds as the Lions.
Rightfully so.
How about the 0-2 Baltimore Ravens?
This could have catastrophe written all over it.
Could.
It really could. It shouldn't. I don't think it will. But at 0-3, I don't know what the percentages are, but you're now swimming upstream to get to the playoffs.
Oh, yeah. 0-3 is like that's the cutoff where it's like it's tough.
And you know what? Every team's different. Every season's different. But I like it. Okay.
Yes, minus 145.
Yeah, that's about right.
The Tampa Bay Bucks, 2-0 Tampa Bay Bucks.
Wow, I'm liking the trend here. Baker's a cockroach, 250.
Minus 190.
Wow.
Minus 190. The Minnesota Vikings, 2-0.
Nah.
Minus 110 both ways.
Wow.
Coin flip.
Yeah.
Coin flip now for them to make it.
Yeah, that's about right.
The Dallas Cowboys. 1-1 Dallas Cowboys.
The good news is they are they're still in the NFC East. So they're already, no matter the worst cases, they're second in their division.
Yeah.
And they're still pretty solid.
Yes is minus 210.
Yeah, that's about right.
So
yeah, I keep saying that. It probably should be a little bit more, a little bit higher, but because the way they lost is terrifying because it's the same way as always. But yeah, there's enough talent, and the Commanders and Giants suck.
Now the Eagles have a game tonight, but they are currently minus 750 to make the playoffs. The second biggest favorite to make the playoffs in all of football now, behind only Kansas City.
Is that as of today? Did it jump after the Cowboys loss?
Yeah. Everything adjusts after every game, but and of course it'll adjust again, win or lose tonight. But if you think
of all of those, who would you pick? One of the dark horse. Where do you see the money, the value?
Honestly, Minnesota.
Is it Minnesota
I like
or
Minnesota.
Tampa?
I like Minnesota more than you do, but I also think I've got questions about how good Detroit is. I've got questions about how good Green Bay is, and I'm certainly not a buyer in the Bears. So I just think there's a path there for Minnesota. I trust their head coach. I like Minnesota.
How many
basically even money.
Good wide receivers do they have? My goodness.
And Jalen Naylor looked pretty damn good yesterday. Jordan Addison. They've got this guy named Justin Jefferson who's supposedly pretty good. Oh, one more good one here. New York Jets. 1-1 Jets. Aaron Rodgers finally won a game for the Jets. All that money they gave him, he finally won a game.
150.
Minus 155. Well played. What about the Dolphins?
Oh. They've
got a big question mark.
They do. Did I read that Tua says I'm playing?
Yeah, he says when I'm medically cleared, I ain't retiring. Okay.
I think that Pooch is screwed.
Okay.
Skyler gave me nothing to give him any kind of benefit of the doubt.
They are now minus money to not make the playoffs, minus 140.
It's because it's finesse, and if the finesse ain't there, they get punched in the face.
Yep. So there you have it. There's a look at those numbers. Now, as for the game tonight, that game between the Eagles and the Falcons, the Eagles 5.5-point favorites at home. The total 45.5. You like the Eagles to get it done tonight?
Yeah, I like 5.5.
Yeah, I lean that way too. I think I like the under.
Are you worried about A.J. Brown? Is that the under part?
No, the under is I don't know that Kirk Cousins can do anything. And I think when the Eagles have the opportunity to be a running football team, they will be a running football team, and the clock will run. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, give me under 45.5, probably my favorite angle.
But there's so much offensive potential on the Falcons side. If they could just get the ball out, man. You got guys all around you that can make plays.
Potential schmotential.
I know, it's Atlanta. They'll find a way to screw it up.
What do you think the opening number is for the Ravens-Cowboys game next week?
The Cowboys still be favored.
Ravens -1 on the road.
Wow, that is a kick. That's going to flip. That's going to flip. Money's going to. If you like the Ravens, go now because the money's going to come in on Dallas at home.
I bet it's going to end up being a pick.
You think so?
I think so. I think that that 0-2 desperation, but yeah, maybe it might be Cowboys -1.
I mean, come on.
I could see that too. The 0-2 Bengals are 8-point favorites against the Commanders. And then we were talking about the Dolphins. Dolphins at Seattle. What's your guess?
Oh, gosh. Seattle in 6.
5.5. Close. Panthers at the Raiders. What's your guess?
12. Well, what's the biggest line we can have?
Panthers +7 at the Raiders. I think I got to take the Raiders.
Dude. Carolina it could be the worst football team in the last decade.
I think they're the worst team in the league by far. So think about this. The Giants are 7-point dogs at the Browns. The Broncos are 7-point dogs at Tampa.
I like that. I like Tampa there.
I'm almost certain that the Panthers are way worse than the Giants or the Broncos.
Oh, there's no question. There's no question. And it's not just quarterback. They got no wide receivers. They got no running back.
Nothing.
They got no defense.
There's nothing good about them.
Yep.
Major League Baseball today, the Twins -115 at the Guardians. Pablo Lopez and Matthew Boyd. Jake Irvin goes for the Nationals. They're at the Mets. Sean Manaea for the Mets, -190. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, -120 for the Dodgers. They're at the Braves. Max Fried, even money on him. Rangers.
Fried or Fried?
I think it's Fried.
I know, but will it be Fried today?
We'll see. Ranger Suarez and the Phillies are at the Brewers. Aaron Savali going for the Brew Crew. Pick'em game here. Joey Estes goes for the A's, +170 at Shota Imanaga. -205 Shota Imanaga. I don't know.
We get a Shota and a Skeens in the same day.
Oh, yeah. Paul Skeens And the Pirates, minus 140 favorites at the Cardinals. Andre Payante going for the Birds. Seth Lugo and the Royals, minus 150 favorites, hosting the Tigers, the Tigres. Merrill Kelly and the D-backs, minus 175 favorites on the road at Colorado. Antonio Cinzatella going for the Rockies. The White Sox, congratulations to the White Sox. They broke their streak. They had lost 20 consecutive series, and they won their series over the weekend. The White Sox are so back, baby. They are so back. Jonathan Cannon pitching for the Sox. They're at the Angels. Reed Detmer's going for the Angels. Angels minus 190. Psh, I might be on the Sox plus 160 today, Bubba. They're on fire.
In fuego.
Cincinnati going for the Stros. He's a dog on the road. Plus 105 at the Padres. Yu Darvish going for the Padres.
You still throwing.
Rangers have the night off. Enjoy that night off. Ladies basketball, we're getting down to the wire. The Sky and the Mystics fighting for the last spot. The Sky, 5.5-point dogs on the road tomorrow. The Mystics, 8.5-point dogs at home to Libbity Bibbity.
Well,
nobody wants to play the Liberty.
No matter what.
But the Sky are at the Atlanta Dream.
Okay, so who's on the Sky?
That's the thugs that beat
That's
up,
what I thought.
that assaulted Caitlin, those two girls, Delino DeShields' daughter, Diamond DeShields.
I want them to go.
And Kennedy Carter.
I want the goon squad.
They used to have Angel Reese, but
she's gone.
She had a strained eyelid carrying around. It was carrying around like 40 pounds of eyelash.
Tragic selfie injury.
Oh, my gosh. It was dreadful. Well, Rob, we've reached the time of day where I bid thee farewell, and I'm going to go take a nap. I imagine you'll get yourself a nap today as well.
Hive up.
I've got to go. I got to go sort out cat drama.
Cats to deal with.
I got a feeling there's going to be an orange cat waiting at my apartment, like wanting to come in.
What's the cat you brought? What's his name?
Blueberry.
Blueberry is the one that's now home.
Yes.
You resettled Blueberry from. Was it a Vegas cat from the get go?
No.
It was Texas
it's
cat.
A Texas cat.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah. Her, and she is going to be really excited that she doesn't have to make that drive now. And I gave her a bunch of drugs yesterday. She was knocked out. She stuck her head out of that thing when we got back to the house. She's like, "What
the hell am I?"
Wasted.
Did I see an orange cat? Did I see a cat when I came in here?
What the hell is that? All right. Enjoy the game tonight. You can hear it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We'll be back tomorrow. More fun, frivolity, and maybe some poop talk. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM, Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday afternoon at 3:25. The Cowboys take on the Baltimore Ravens at home.
I like this kind of party!
Pregame starts at 2:30. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
This is home cooking. How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Football season is here. Hi, Jason Minix here from the Blitz. You want to have more fun watching football this year? Play the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Over 1 million fans got in the game last year by making picks on Underdog. You can join in and win up to 325 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on your favorite player stats. I know I made a lot of money last year playing at Underdog Fantasy on the Pick'em game. You too can as well. And it's easy to get signed up. Go to UnderdogFantasy.com or download their mobile app. Use my promo code STAR and Underdog will give you a highly discounted pick to use on your first Pick'em entry, plus a first-time deposit offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Promo code STAR to claim your new customer offer of a gimme first pick and your deposit offer when you get signed signed up at UnderdogFantasy.com. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or go to ncpgambling.org.
Has a loved one died and left you an old car to sell? GiveMeTheVIN.com has just launched the new service GMTVCC.com. Write this down, GMTVCC.com, which is Give Me the VIN Classic and Collector Car Buying Service. GMTVCC.com will hook you up with GMTVCC Pro buyers that will appraise and offer on that 69 Chevelle, old Corvette, old truck, and especially Restamods. We love Restamods at GMTVCC.com. Don't mess with consignments or auctions. Get paid today on your Class